Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon, I'm Max Scott here with your sports headlines. Thomas Tuchel's announced his 35-man England squad for the upcoming World Cup warm-up games, but he's given 11 players, arguably his most trusted lot, the first week off. Here's why.
All of these guys have played 3,500 and plus more minutes. Some of them have 4,000 minutes. More important than the pure number of minutes is that some of these guys have already played more minutes than the whole last season.
Tuchel says the following 11 players would be on the plane if it was leaving next week. They're Dean Henderson, Dan Burn, Mark Gahey, Esri Konsa, Nico O'Reilly, Elliot Anderson, Declan Rice, Morgan Rogers, Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane and Bukayo Saka. That's the last time I'm giving you the full list. Elsewhere in the striker department, it looks like Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Dominic Solanke have an opportunity to book their spot on the plane.
Both are good penalty takers, by the way, so I want to see what they're capable of. I want to see if they can fill the gap, what they can bring, what they can offer with set pieces.
Meanwhile, James Garner gets his first senior call-up. Tuchel says the Everton midfielder is underrated.
He plays several positions. I saw him many times live. I was always impressed with his work rate, always impressed with his physicality. I think it's a pleasure to play with him. He's a fantastic teammate.
Elsewhere, Harry Maguire and Kobbie Mainoo return to the fold, but there's no place for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Tuchel's told talkSPORT he's not even spoken to the player prior to the announcement. So it looks like an experimental 11 for the Uruguay game live on talkSPORT next Friday, and then more of a first 11 to face Japan live on talkSPORT a week on Tuesday.
talkSPORT News.
2 suspected Iranian spies have been arrested after attempting to enter Britain's nuclear missile base, and 3 people injured in IRA bombings are dropping their case against Jerry Adams. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Store your new tyres this spring at a time that suits you best, from the comfort of your home or work 7 days a week, with our mobile tyre fitting service. Conditions apply.
Fine warm day for most of us except the far north and northwest, where it's turning cloudier with patchy rain, staying warm and sunny into the weekend.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
This is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT Wear this afternoon. I'm hoping, Andy, that when Thomas Tuchel rang James Garner, he didn't answer, it went straight to his answer machine. He said, "Hi, this is James Garner. At the tone, leave your name and message and I'll get back to you." That's one for the kids.
That's one for the team.
Look it up, kids. Come on, every day's a school day.
Very much.
Jim Rockford.
Very much so.
Yeah.
For the next 3 hours.
Sorry, Andy. Sorry to throw you like that.
No.
I went off script, didn't I?
No, that's fine. It's good. I'm used to ad-libbing.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Oh, yeah.
Quite so. Yeah. Stan Collymore gives us his verdict on the England squad and more. We'll ask a seasoned Fury family watcher what he makes of Dad John's fallout with Tyson.
Yeah.
And pioneering West Ham legend Clyde Best tells us about his new film.
We'll also have more of Andy's nonsense by numbers. We'll hear from Thomas Tuchel, as well as the Premier League managers ahead of the weekend's games. And we'll marvel at the brilliance of 2 greats from the worlds of snooker and darts.
There's all this plus the clips of the week, the Fools panel, and Tom Brady slams WWE in Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup.
Tom Brady, legendary quarterback, has gone in 2-footed on the world of professional wrestling. But we think there's something behind it, don't we? We'll play it to you a little bit later on in the show. But it is 5 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Andy.
Good afternoon, Paul. I'm very excited today.
Are you?
Because, one of my posts on X, formerly Twitter,
Yes.
was liked by the BBC political correspondent John Simpson. Blue tick, John Simpson.
Wow.
John put, many Chelsea supporters think the decision to sell Chelsea to the US consortium Blueco in 2022 was unwise and has worked out badly. Just to remind you, he says, John, the culture secretary responsible for approving the deal was Nadine Dorries and the Prime Minister was Boris Johnson. And I said to him, it's hardly their fault Chelsea have spent 1.6 billion quid and still not got a proper keeper. He liked that.
Well, I mean, it might be Nadine, it might be her holding him back. Maybe she's saying you've got plenty of keepers.
Yes, probably. Most humiliating night at the Bridge in my Chelsea supporting.
Really?
Yeah, it was just...
Come down to our place now and again.
It was pathetic. I mean, seriously. I'm seriously concerned about the end of the season. It feels like that season with Potter and Lampard when we lost 9 out of the last 10 games. I mean, I don't know what happened. It was such a poor performance. It's amazing. Anyway, I was watching forget about that the other day.
Don't cheer yourself up.
No, I know. I was watching the Lille Forest game and Lille Villa game last night. And this was good. Fernandes, Pardo and Harrelson came on for Lille. You must speak to my firm of solicitors.
Yeah, they're very good. Well, I fell over at work and I contacted them and I got $5,000.
Fernandes, Pardo and Harrelson.
Yeah, they were very good.
Tremendous.
Got me some money back on the diesel as well in my old car.
And Mandy came on for Lille. He's, of course, Barry Manilow's favourite player.
Yeah, it would be, really.
Absolutely lovely.
Not Keir Starmer's.
No. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, yes, what else? Did I see anything else in the game last night?
That's all you... you sat there. I'd expect in-depth scouting notes.
Well, I have got some scouting notes. I mean, obviously, Unai Emery is such a brilliant coach. There's another it was a wonderful ball by Emi Martinez, but another Route 1, basically, goal. You know, I mean, I just think he mixes it up. All the good coaches now mix it up. All the coaches that are just copying Pep and are about 3 years out of date, just try and play out for the back. I mean, if Chelsea go to Hill Dickinson.
Well, if you go to Goodison, you'll be playing the women.
We might win. If we go to Hill Dickinson,
I'm not so sure.
And just play that football like set them up like he did against Newcastle, they're going to get absolutely.
Where do you stand on the 84th minute note to Garnacho? Where do you stand on the optics of that when he handed the piece of paper as he went on?
He's like Professor Potter. He's just, he's just another Potter. He's just hopeless, really. What are you going to do, though? I mean,
it's unravelled quickly, Andy.
They won't get rid of him, now, and they'll probably. I mean, I'd love.
He's only been there 10 minutes, isn't
It's not going to work. I can tell already. It's just not going. Like you knew with Potter, I had a buy-in, and the players bought in when he started. But then when you start making lots of tactical mistakes along with ridiculous comments to the press, then you lose the dressing room. I just can't see it working. But look, I'd love a young English manager to succeed. I'd love him to succeed at our club. I would.
Yeah.
But I just can't see it. What you want, but the trouble is, who's going to want to go there? A bloke like Iriola.
I don't know the money you pay on the length of contracts. A lot of players are going to want to go.
That's not what it's about. It should be the manager should want to go there and have the freedom. I mean, if this fails, this latest experiment, surely the ownership have got to look at the two sporting directors. They've got to look at these guys. I mean, getting away with murder. I mean, seriously. Yeah, they bought some good players.
They've signed a lot of good players.
They've also signed a lot of dross. And they've also...
What's their hit rate, would you say, in the dross good player Venn diagram?
I wouldn't like to venture a suggestion. You'd have to go through it properly, player by player, and say, was he a success or was he a success? I mean, you'd feel it's about 50-50. But, I just think it's, you can't keep appointing the wrong person and just, as soon as a manager stands up to you, you fire him. I mean, what's the point of that? I mean, whatever you thought of Maresca, he was effective.
You wanted him out, though, Andy.
Well, the football was starting to be bad, and also he wasn't getting the support that he needed. Anyway, I did like this headline in the Sun this morning. It said, Chelsea lift ban on tacky gnomes. I thought, blimey, not re-signing John Spencer and Dennis Wise, are they? It's a thing.
Who's tacky gnomes?
Chelsea flower show.
Is it? Okay.
You're allowed to have gnomes in the garden.
Ah, it sounds a bit like a Finnish player.
Oh, great player, tacky gnomes.
They're bringing young tacky gnomes in. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah, we bring in tacky gnomes.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Anything else you've noticed?
Well, the bloke from the Tug of War Association, we were going to do this story about, well done to the British team that won the certain weight category out there in wherever it was.
That's quite on the certain weight category.
Well, I could look it up if you want. The listeners don't care.
I'm not that.
I'm only saying it so I can say this thing.
Oh, okay.
Of course. The bloke, you've suddenly sussed me out.
Yeah, of course.
26 years.
Oh, okay. You've shoehorned in a story for a gag. I don't think you've ever done that before.
Bloke from the Tug of War Association who runs it's called Alan Knott. I don't know if
it's not.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if there's a Derek Underwood working there. It'd be great if there was.
Really?
No, that's it, Alan Knott.
Is he number 7 in the Tug of War, Alan Knott?
I don't know yet.
I'd like to think he is.
Good. That's it.
That's it, is it? Okay, well, we're going to kick off with our England correspondent, Faye Carruthers. Just been having a chat with Thomas Tuchel. A 35-man squad. 11 of them we're just hearing from Max there. They're going to have a bit longer. They've played too much football. I think we saw a bit of that maybe midweek.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we were talking about, though, on a serious point. There's been a lot of stuff about, there's been a lot of glee from people.
I know.
Journalists.
Odd, isn't it?
About the fact the Premier League has been exposed a little bit. But they're not thinking about it and thinking it's not arrogance. The point is, in the autumn, when the Premier League teams... Well, let's start the other way round.
Yeah.
The European teams are conditioned to finish the season strongly, the second half of the season. Whereas we can't do that. English teams can't do that in the Premier League. If you try and do that in the first half of the season, you'll be like, 13th or something. You have to be competitive from the word go. And then they had the winter break. So, of course, by the time the thing comes around, our players are flogged and they look really fresh. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, it doesn't excuse some poor defending and some, they shouldn't be getting beat by that amount of goals in Newcastle and Chelsea. They shouldn't.
No, we did. We spoke to Emery Winter about it, and I tend to agree. I think it was all a bit over the top. You're right, the glee is quite interesting, considering there's a 5th place up for grabs. It's like we seem to have a bit revelled in the fact a lot of people think, we're not quite as good as we thought we were. But is that like it's a good thing?
I know. It's poor, isn't it? But there you go.
There you are. So anyway, Faye's going to join us shortly, and we'll talk about the England squad, those that made it. I mean, in a 35-man squad, there were still a couple of notable absentees, especially Trent.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
So we'll be chatting about that. Gareth A. Davis has known the Fury family for a very long time, and of course, as you're all aware, his dad John, Tyson's dad John, has fallen out with his boy. Said they're done. What does Gareth make of it? How does he think it feeds into the future for Tyson and some other boxing matters?
Does it go back to that business with Steve Bunce and all that way in?
Don't know. I mean, he does sort of crash these things, and I'm sure he doesn't like him doing it. But anyway, Gareth was front and centre of all that, of course, when that happened. So we'll be hearing from him later on. The great Clyde Best joins us, real pioneer in football in this country, former West Ham player. It's a new film. Telling his story, and we'll be chatting to Clyde a little bit later on. We'll have a Falls panel. We'd like you to take part in the Falls panel. These are the games. We're going to need you in 90 minutes' time for about 10 minutes, that's all. So if you can get on the phone about 2:45 and join us. We're looking at Bournemouth, Manchester United tonight, Newcastle versus Sunderland on Sunday lunchtime, and, of course, the League Cup final, Carabao Cup final, Arsenal versus Man City on Sunday afternoon. Give us a call now. We'd like you to predict the scores of those games and tell us why you think these teams are going to win, draw or lose. 03717 223344, 03717 223344. Call us now. We'll call you back at around 2:45. Just register your interest with our team. And, hopefully we'll chat to you later on. Stan Collymore is going to give us his take on England. But first, our England correspondent, Faye Carruthers, with us in the studio. You can check out Toolstation's wide range of garden power tools with brands such as Bosch and Ryobi. Next stop, Toolstation.
And I told you there were encouraging signs. And now they're starting to there's green shoots of recovery.
Well, he's such an idiot.
There's green shoots of recovery,
You're such
mate.
an idiot. Like,
Look, see, I can't win. I cannot win.
You've basically just got lucky.
No, Jay.
You've got lucky.
No, I haven't got lucky.
You have?
No, I have not got lucky at all.
You're mocking it.
No, I wasn't.
And it's actually turned into a correct answer.
That is what you call superb punditry. If Roy Keane had said that, right, everyone would go, gee, what Roy Keane said a couple of weeks ago, he saw encouraging signs.
Yeah.
I say it with a clown hat on, with an Ange mask, and you say, that's disgusting, mate. Give me some credit.
I'm not giving you any credit. Let's go to Joe. He's a Spurs fan. Joe.
All right, Joe.
Hi, boys. How are you?
All right, Joe, boy.
All right, Joe. I'm all right. Yeah.
Right.
Go on.
I just wanted to say, right, I may sound like an absolute clown saying this, right? After that performance that we put in tonight, if we saw that week in, week out, like the old Tottenham, and we played like that every single week, for me, there is no reason why we cannot be a title in the title contention next season.
I'm not a clown.
Joe?
Yes.
Let's just not be stupid right now.
Oh, come on.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it, Biggs.
It's Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT, as I'm sure you're fully aware because the guys have been discussing it since the news broke. We have a 35-man England squad. There are some notable absentees, and we'll be chatting to Faye Carruthers about those in a few moments' time. Faye's as hot-footed into the studio, we're delighted to say, having just been chatting to Thomas Tuchel after he announced that squad for the Uruguay and Japan friendlies. Let's have a listen.
With the players that you've not called up, do they think that's it, their World Cup is over? With the players or have you said to them there is still an opportunity their World Cup is over? Or have you said to them there is still an opportunity for you, or are they so far down in the pecking order in terms of their position?
No, they're not. And every case is individual, and they know that they're on the long list, and they know that whoever is on the long list has a chance to come to the World Cup. This is not a pre-decision. This is just a decision now for this camp. The competition on their positions is on. They're like different profiles. There are different reasons why we take and stick with other players. I know that it's tough decisions. I know that it's prominent names. I know they're full of talent. But I feel also that I know what they can give us. I saw them in tournaments for England. I saw them with us in camp. The exception is Luke. He was not in camp. So, of course, he's upset. And, of course, he feels that it's slightly unfair. And maybe it is. But it comes with a job. I have to make some decisions. I still feel that I know what Luke could give us. And I still made the decision to stick with Nico O'Reilly, Chad Spence, and Tino Livramento, who deserve to be in camp because of September, October, November.
Have you actually spoken to Trent Alexander-Arnold about it and said, keep getting this consistency?
Not yet.
You haven't spoken to him at all?
Not yet.
Okay. How do you think he might feel with that? Does he feel his England career might be over then?
I don't know.
Oh dear.
Oh,
you touched the nerve there.
Yeah, yes, that's right. He didn't want to talk about it anymore. Hiya, Faye.
Hello,
Hi,
how you
Faye.
doing?
I mean, it's going to be a talking point, that. Henry Winter was tweeting earlier on. Surely he brings different things to the table. He's an incredible passer of the ball. He's playing for one of the world's biggest clubs. Surely in a 35-man squad,
Yeah, you'd have thought so.
there's room for him, but there's probably other stuff going on, isn't there? And the kind of slightly prickly edged. I don't want to talk about this anymore. He kind of gave it maybe hints at that.
Yeah, he shut me down on it, and especially because he had specifically spoken about having spoken to other players. He'd been speaking to Fikayo Tomori over the past year, for example.
Well,
and
according to
saying, "You're
Gabriel
close."
Bonlahor earlier on, apparently he said you can't get him off the phone. So it's like, you're all right, Thomas. Yeah, okay, I've got to go. That's apparently what he's like.
Well, he wants these connections with the players. He talked about it from the minute he came in. He said he wants to be in constant contact with the players and make them feel like they are part of this group, which is why it's really interesting, that he's decided to almost have two camps and split it, as he's called it, because he wants those who are on the fringes and wants them to fight for their places to feel as if they are just as important, and then to give those players who, as he said to me in the interview, are effectively on the plane. If the World Cup was tomorrow, the 11 players that he's giving the break for the Uruguay game are effectively on the plane, bar any injuries. Credit for them because they have credit in the bank already. Now let's give these other players this opportunity to have full focus on them and see what they can give and how much they want it and how much they want to fight for it. But Trent Alexander-Arnold has been back playing for Real Madrid. There's been a reason why he's not been included previously, because he had no consistency, hadn't really had a particularly good start to his career. But now he's been getting more consistent, and we've been seeing what we know is there. I find it really strange in many ways. I understand the reasoning in terms of we know what he brings, but you also know what a lot of those players bring as well, and they've still been called up, so there has to be more to it.
What is clear, looking at them, there are some tremendous players in this squad. But his job, and it's not easy, is to somehow find a unit that works as a unit, because individually the talent is there. There's no question. You look down the list, there's some top players there, but that'll be the trick. That'll decide everything.
He wants to see how certain players connect with other players on the pitch. He also, he's very, very keen on clarity of role. So he wants everybody to know why they've been brought into the England squad and what role he wants them to play within the system that he wants to play. And that's really important. He doesn't want any mixed messaging. And it's interesting, actually, because he has a versatile group of players to pick from. Many of these players can play 3 or 4 different positions, but he is always very clear with them about what position he is expecting them to play and who they are competing with. So they have that clarity immediately, which really helps with competition and stops them getting confused as well. And he was talking to me as well about splitting the camp, and those 11 players that are having that break, they then come in to build for the Japan game with some of the other players who will stay to contribute to the Japan game, because he doesn't want it all to get a bit mixed up and confusing. He wants it to be very clear. They have a plan of action. I quite like this idea, actually, of splitting the camp and giving people different roles and giving them, space to show what they can do without the pressure of them competing with the first 11, if you like.
In those conditions, in those conditions, the bench is going to be really important. And he has got
finishers,
as Arteta calls them, absolutely. And he's certainly got very effective people that can come on and do that.
Yeah, loads. And we're very, very lucky. We saw in the Euros final what Cole Palmer did from the bench coming in and getting England back in the game, and that is vital, and in these conditions. But also, he kept mentioning, and I asked him in the interview as well, he kept speaking about set pieces. That's going to be really crucial out in America because of the heat. When you can win a foul, and then all of a sudden you have an opportunity from a set piece. We've seen how successful Arsenal have been this season using that. It's going to be even more important when you need to conserve energy in the kind of temperatures that we're going to be facing out in North America. So I think that's really smart as well. And some of the players, James Garner included, that he's brought in, Harry Maguire, another reason, he likes Dan Burn because Dan Burn can attack a set piece with his height. Harry Maguire, we see him do that regularly.
I don't fancy Dan Burn up against Elise Sale.
Yeah, I don't think Wednesday night.
Lamine Yamal, I don't think that's a good
Wednesday
player.
night did him any favours.
He's a great.
You can't judge a player on one.
No, he's a great player for Newcastle and a great servant to the club and all that, but he is limited against that top level, surely.
But within the camp and within the 26.
I mean, he's a very good character, you said.
Without a doubt.
No doubt about it.
Without a doubt. And that is something really important. And I always go back, and I've said to both of you, and I've said on air on many occasions, I always go back to that first interview that I did with Thomas Tuchel when he was first named England manager, when he talked about, selecting not necessarily the best players, but selecting the best group. That's really important to him. Potentially, if they go to the final, we're out there for 7 weeks, up till the 19th of July. We head out at the beginning of June. That is a long time to be in, people's company for, in a stressful and hot environment, with the amount of scrutiny that's going to be on them, the pressure, the amount of flying, everything else that goes with it. You have to have a good group of people. You have to have people that are working for the team, that aren't about individuals, that know their role within the team, and that can all get on. And you need characters like Dan Burn, like Jordan Henderson, to be within that group, even if they might be limited to minutes.
Certainly the boys that aren't in that 11 will know it's going to be a very competitive camp, because you look down the list and you think, well, if I'm going, he's not going, and there are very direct comparisons in all areas, really. So it's going to be competitive. They're going to want to shine. They're going to want to do well in these friendlies and in training, because a lot of these guys they're not going to get on the plane. Yeah, well, but this is what he wants to see. How much do you want it? How much are you going to push on from now until the end of the season? How much are you going to show us? They've got 4 training sessions he was talking about to basically show what they can do, show that desire. But key point, show that they can play in the system that he wants to play and in the manner that he wants to play. He's been very direct about that, and that he wants to play in a specific style, and the players have to adapt to that, and he will see those players that can adapt to it immediately and are straight up to speed, and those who maybe struggle a little bit with it. And that's why in many ways it's smart to call up.
Yeah, it makes sense.
The Jason Steele thing's interesting. I heard him talking about it earlier onto the England website, saying he's effectively, he's a fourth keeper, he's unlikely to play, but he's a great character. He'll have penalties fired at him, basically. He'll work with the keepers, he'll work with the keeping coaches. He'll just be a good guy to have there as backup. They've done it before with Tom Heaton in Germany. So wasn't included, as I think is important to note, won't be included in the 26, if you like. So it's not an outfield player that will be missing as a result of him being there. But also, he's 35. He's got that character, but this is a trial for him. They think they've identified him as having the right personality to go in that Tom Heaton style role, if you like. And this is for him to show in this camp whether or not he is up to the task for them. Yeah, it's interesting. Having 11 players that you've basically said are on the plane, it's a far cry from this. An old Jeff Hurst story about a few months after they won the World Cup and he'd scored the hat-trick. Down in England camp, they had 2 games quite close together. And as he left the dressing room after the first match, he said to Sir Alf Ramsey, "See you next month then, Alf." And he said, "Yeah, perhaps, Jeffrey, perhaps." I like to keep you on your toes.
It's difficult. I feel that it's either going to go incredibly well, we're going to go really close, or it's going to be an absolute disaster.
You think there's no middle ground?
I don't think there's any middle ground. I think it could really build and build and build, and they could really become a great team. Or they could be like England teams often are, just a disappointment. We'll see.
Nothing like sitting on the fence, Andy.
Yeah.
This could go well, it could not.
Well, there we are.
I don't see it being like medium, they get to the quarterfinals and people go, well, they didn't do too bad. I think either they'll get to the final.
I think the expectation's greater than that now, isn't it? When we look at the players we have, I mean, despite the conditions and everything else that's going to hold us back.
You can't ignore Brazil. You can't ignore Argentina.
No, you can't. You can't ignore France. You can't ignore Spain.
Germany,
They've all got great. I mean, I went through France's strikers yesterday. It's ridiculous. I mean, they've got so many, so many great players.
As we know in tournament football, though, there are so many other factors that you have to, bring into play.
Yeah.
What's going on in camp, what the temperatures are doing, what injuries, penalties.
Yeah,
you need
a bit of luck.
So you do need a little bit of luck, but you can prepare for as much as possible and then hope that the luck goes your way. That the difficulty is going to be the heat, which is why they're going out 2 weeks beforehand to Florida to try and acclimatise. I don't know. I'm looking at my wardrobe going, what the hell do I wear? I don't know.
You've
Not
got
my
to take that jumper. We'll speak to you next week in the build-up to the game. Thanks, Faye.
Look forward to it. See you later.
Coming in.
Faye Carruthers there. By the way, the latest episode of How to Win the World Cup is now live with Matt Ford and Jacob Hawley. Speak to one of football's leading psychologists, Dan Abrahams, all about the mindset of elite level football. You can watch the full episode on the talkSPORT YouTube channel. You can listen on the talkSPORT app or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget, you can hear both of England's upcoming friendlies against Uruguay and Japan live on talkSPORT, as well as all 104 World Cup games this summer.
Let me put this to you, though, Simon. I mean, Arsenal make the headlines all the time now. And, of course, in spite of what John Obi Mikel said, they are in the mix to win everything. Yep. Whether or not they do that, whether or not they win 3 out of 4, 2 out of 4, maybe it starts this Sunday at Wembley in the Carabao Cup final. I'll be there as they take on Pep's Manchester City. But, of course, no need to think what's been one of the headline stories this week. It's been about the wonder kid. And I say wonder kid, there you go. I've just fallen into the trap. 16-year-old Max Dowman. Big things expected of young Max, and he is performing, at a level that have surprised many at the tender age of 16. But we now understand, Simon, that Max Dowman's dad and brother have obtained FIFA agent licenses with suggestions that his family, will manage his career going forward. The family, you won't be surprised to hear, have had approaches from agents since Max's debut as a 15-year-old. That was last August. But they've held out, and now he signed a pre-contract agreement with Arsenal in January, and that will convert into his first pro contract when he turns 17 on the 31st of December. Going forward, it's his father and brother who represent him. Is that the best way forward for Dowman?
I suppose to some extent, from the point of view of having the due care around what's right for the young man, you could argue that. Whether they have the commercial wherewithal, and that's game for. Listen, none of these agents are going to be candidates for Mensa, I can assure you.
A whopping 35 England players have been named in Thomas Tuchel's final squad before the World Cup selection. No Ollie Watkins, no Max Dowman, no Luke Shaw, but Calvert-Lewin is in, and Kobbie Mainoo is as well, and Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire's never let England down. I know there's been a lot of criticism at club level, but he's back in the United side, playing regularly, enjoying his football, and I've always been a supporter of Maguire.
5 goalkeepers, including Brighton's Jason Steele. He hasn't played in the Premier League all season.
You've got Carl Rushworth, England under-21 international, the best goalkeeper in the Championship at Coventry. I know for a fact that Frank Lampard has held conversations with the England goalkeeper coach about Carl Rushworth. Surely that would be better if you're going to take 5 goalkeepers to plan for the future.
Now, they might be in a relegation scrap, but Ryan Yates told TNT Forest are still dreaming of winning the Europa League.
Shout out to the fans, especially the ones that have travelled here, spending a lot of money, a difficult time for many people. From minute one, they really helped us. And, it took us penalties, but we're through, and that's all that matters.
And Ronnie O'Sullivan's made snooker's biggest ever break, 153 in the World Open. The Rocket snookered Ryan Day to get a free ball before reeling off the 15 reds, 13 extra blacks and 2 pinks before polishing off the colours. There's more, as ever, at talksport.com.
Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Just before we talk boxing, our own Alex Crook says that talkSPORT understands that Liam Delap a potential summer target for Newcastle. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, as I said, how we managed without him. I'm so disappointed in him. I really rate him.
Yes, he's not had a chance to get much rhythm, has he? Hardly ever plays.
When he got injured, and it's just his touch. I know he's a better player than he's showing. That's what's frustrating. I liked him at Ipswich. I was very excited when Chelsea signed him. Well, I think he's got something about him, but...
2 things. A lot more expectation. Very stop-start. Yeah. So strikers need to get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
They've got to feel like they're going to get regular games.
Know, he's come on and... I mean, the Wrexham game was classic. He did one good thing. He absolutely created the goal that got Chelsea back in.
Yeah.
The rest of the game, the ball just bounced off. It's like a trampoline. You've got to be better. You've got to be able to hold it up in that position. So there's plenty of room for improvement. I'm sure he's a very young player. I'm sure he'll get better. And if he did go to Newcastle, he'd probably do really well.
So there we are. We'll keep an eye on that one for you. There's a lot of talk about ins and outs at Newcastle, and we'll maybe run that past Stan Collymore later.
Same at Chelsea as well, if they don't make Europe. Absolutely.
Tyson Fury's dad, John, has been chatting to the Playbook Boxing podcast in the company of, amongst others, our very own Spencer Oliver. And he really doesn't think Tyson should come out of retirement and fight in 3 weeks' time.
I was worried. I thought, has he got the legs? And it proved, because Tyson, you got to kill him to put him on the floor. He was 8 in the 9th round. He wouldn't go down, would he? Tremendous heart. His heart's unbelievable. But did we need to subject a great champion like him to that? And I was disgusted with myself. I felt like killing Sugar Hill afterwards. As I get him out my side, go left on a southpaw. And if it wasn't for me, he'd have got him knocked out. You know what Sugar Hill's instructions was in the 10th round? Get that back foot up guy and take him out. I said, he's not got a leg under him. Take him out. You've got no power, I said. Get on your bike, I said. Get behind your jab, fiddle away and get your legs back. Was that not sensible advice?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I hadn't been in that corner, Usyk could have chinned him in the 10th round.
There we are, John Fury. He said his relationship with Tyson has gone. He felt the Wilder fight did for Tyson. Gareth A. Davies has known the family for a long time. He had his moments with all of them, really, good and bad.
Yeah.
And he joins us now. Hi, Gareth.
Good afternoon, broadcast legends. How are you?
We're good, thanks, Gareth. So what do you make of this? Look, they've fallen out. They are, Taylor and Burton, really, if you know what I mean. They're on, they're off. What should we read into this?
Well, was Taylor and Burton, was it 6, 7 marriages? The eternal return, the love affair. Look, as you both may or may not know, I've just been out to see Tyson Fury in Pattaya, Thailand. For a YouTube docu, and also for a big piece in the Telegraph. I discussed it on Saturday night on our talkSPORT, brilliant talkSPORT show that the guys put together, the live broadcast in Liverpool. I've known John since 2007, when this mop-haired, curly-haired, big, gangly, handsome thing called Tyson Luke Fury first emerged on the undercard of a Carl Froch fight in Nottingham. And John is an incredibly emotional person. He's a very old school traveller. He's from a different generation of traveller where they think differently. And I think sometimes he's given to his emotion really taking him over. When he exploded the other day at the press conference, I was very close to him, and I did a little social media post with him on YouTube. I had a camera guy with me. We filmed it on the day Spencer and I spoke about him on the day as well. And you are going to get these moments from John where he explodes like he did in Riyadh when he headbutted the member of the Usyk team. And I think when he sat down there with Spencer and Charlotte, and Spencer was one of the best interviews I've seen Spencer do. Because he was listening and not talking for a change.
The trash talk continues.
He's not with me tomorrow night, unfortunately. It's Dave Caldwell, which is a real shame, because we do have those back and forths. No, but I jest.
Dave's feeling special.
Yeah. That's right. You got Dave on side, unfortunately, says Gareth. Great.
No, but I compliment him because it was a brilliant interview with John. Because I've had many of these conversations with John where he's very open and very relaxed. And Spencer and Charlotte Daly, they got him very, very relaxed, and he's very honest. I didn't hear anything there that I haven't heard from John before, either privately, where he's worried that Tyson's going on too long. He wanted him to finish after the third Deontay Wilder fight. So did Paris, Tyson's wife, by the way. The new thing for me where there's maybe a schism between them in terms of where father and son are at the moment, I think that rift will heal. There are concerns about who's going to train him. I met Robert McInnes, Sifu, the trainer out in Pattaya, Thailand, who Tyson's been with for 10 weeks. John's concern is that Tyson's just carrying on because there are 3 massive paydays left. And that is why he's carrying on, in my view, apart from the fact he still loves it. As Tyson told me, he can still do it, but he's 38. Yeah. The legs are old now. He had 2 very tough fights against Alexander Usyk in 2024. Very tough, very close fights. And he did look like he's slowing down. Everything John said in that interview made sense to me because he knows his son and he knows boxing. I hope there isn't as big a rift as he was indicating between the two of them.
John also said Mac Madova, who he fights in 3 weeks at Spurs, is a problem for him. I mean, do you see that?
It really depends, Paul, on what Tyson Fury has left. When I saw him in Thailand 2 weeks ago, I spent the morning with him. I spent the evening with his team the night before we had dinner. They said, you wait till you see him. He's in great shape and great form. I agree with that. He's happy. He's rejuvenated. I spoke to Sifu, Robert McInnes, who said he's doing kind of amazing things. He's getting, you'll laugh at this. He's doing the old style. He runs in the morning, trains in the afternoon. He has 4 men massaging his body, soapy massage.
Really?
Each limb, it's an old Muay Thai practice that you massage each of the 4 limbs. He looks fantastic. It's 30 degrees when he wakes up in the morning there. Greng Jai, they call it in Thailand, where people give you your space and respect. And he loves that. He's sleeping on a boat, which is like, for a traveller, is like a caravan on the water, isn't it? So He's in a really happy place. He's got his young son, Prince, who's 14, who's now coming through, and his nephew, John Boy, who's boxing out there with him. It will all depend on whether he goes out there and he boxes brilliantly early on against Makhmudov, or he lets the big Russian lion, the big bear, into the fight. Because Makhmudov can punch, but yes, he's vulnerable to the body, and yes, this is his massive moment. He's dreamt of fighting someone like Tyson Fury. It's not Dave Allen in Doncaster or Sheffield. This is Tyson Fury in front of 60,000 people, and this is the moment for Makhmudov where if he can show his wares, he gets massive fights after here. So believe me when I say this, Fury needs to be on his game. He knows it. He should outbox him. I think he might go over 12 rounds. He should be able to stop him in 6 to 8 rounds, in my view. And then we want, as I said on Saturday night, then we want Joshua and Fury later on in the year.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll definitely speak to you in the build-up to the fight, Gareth. And you're back with Dave Caldwell, unfortunately, tomorrow night. You said.
No, I didn't say. Whoa.
You said, unfortunately, he's not with me tomorrow. I've got Dave Caldwell.
Well, my apologies to Dave.
we know what you mean.
We know, yes, of course.
But we've got Jamie TKV, who's fighting Richard Riakporhe. He's coming in the studio. Fantastic backstory Jamie's got. The British champion fighting Richard Riakporhe at heavyweight on April the 11th on that undercard of Makhmudov and Tyson Fury. We'll react to George Liddard and Tyler Denny. Very important fight for George Liddard tomorrow night. We'll look at Usyk, the rest of Usyk's career. Michaela Mayer joins us. We look ahead to Alex Wilson and Ashley Williams fighting in BKB in Connecticut next weekend. A Brit, 2 Brits fighting for world title. That's live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel. Nikisa Bidarian, MVP, CEO, the manager of Jake Paul's company, joins us. Obviously, they've got a Sky deal now. We'll talk about Zuffa Boxing's Sky deal.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Top Rank. Now getting a deal with DAZN, they're back in the game. As you've both seen, it won't have passed you by. The tectonic plates are really moving in the fight world at the moment. It's the most nuanced time I can remember in 35 years of covering the sport.
And what time are you on, Gareth? Remind us tomorrow night.
10 p.m.
Brilliant.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Nice one. We'll catch up with you soon, Gareth. Take care.
10 till 1.
There we are. That's Gareth A. Davis with Dave Caldwell tomorrow night on Fight Night. And now, Saturday night is Fight Night on DAZN too. Some huge fights coming up. As Gareth just said, George Liddard takes on Tyler Denny for the British Commonwealth titles, live from London. 28th of March, Moses Atoma, what a fighter he is, takes on Jermaine Franklin. April the 4th, Derek Chisora collides with the bronze bomber Deontay Wilder, both on their 50th and quite possibly final fights. You never know. So sign up to DAZN Ultimate now. Get access to every punch, every knockout, every moment.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
I don't know about Barca.
What do you mean?
I don't know about Barca.
They won 8-3.
Yeah, first half Newcastle the better side.
Yeah, I know, but
no, I'm not convinced by them. I'm not convinced.
Here's my take on it. That you're right. The league is. I don't look. You look at over the league phase. The Premier League teams go, God, look at us. We're just dominating in Europe because we're too strong over, an 8-9 game. How many games you play, right? Yes. But when it comes to the elite level, when it comes to the knockout rounds and the big games against the big dogs, we get found out because our Premier League, really, I don't think the quality is that great.
No, it's not
It's
great.
been a set-piece league.
Yeah.
It's all been about long throws, direct football. And you play against PSG, you play against Real Madrid, you play against Barcelona, Bayern Munich, even Atletico, in Madrid. They get found out because they know how to play football.
They are football teams in the true sense of the word. But that doesn't necessarily mean to say that Arsenal, who are going to be have got their criticism, aren't capable of going and doing what they're doing in the Premier League and overpowering teams and dominating games, because Arsenal are the best at it.
Yeah.
They're the best at it.
Do you think Arsenal are going to win it?
Mate, if they don't, then I think they're
secret Arsenal fan this season.
What is on? I've got no love. I hope Arsenal fall at the last every time. But you've got to appreciate a good side. You've got to appreciate what they do, and they do it well. Dark arts, all of that. I've said this. I want my side, Chelsea, to be more like them. We are incapable.
You got beat 8-2.
But that's what I mean. I want to be more like Arsenal.
You didn't respect the ball.
I want to be more like Arsenal, mate.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Yes, time now for our bet builder with our friends at Paddy Power. We welcome Lewis Richards. Going to look forward to Sunday's EFL Cup final at Wembley as Arsenal take on Manchester City. Good afternoon, Lewis.
Afternoon, gents. How are we?
Yeah, we're not so bad, thank you. So just briefly explain how the bet builder works.
Yeah, for anyone new to the bet builder, just think of it as your classic hacker, but instead of picking different teams to win different games, you're picking different outcomes to happen in the same match.
Indeed. So I've gone both teams to score. I imagine that's quite a popular one with your punters.
Is indeed 13 of 20. Arsenal have conceded 4 out of their last 6. City conceding 5 from 6 as well. So looks promising. The only thing that we really have to go against us is whether or not it's going to be a cagey affair, because you'd imagine both teams are going to be pretty hungry to capture the first silverware of the season.
Yeah,
that's why I see it as a tight old game. I've gone for draw in 90 minutes.
You see it easily being one each, couldn't you?
Yeah, but like this one as well, 11-5, bit of value. And 3 in the last 5 between these two have ended in a draw, so the 11-5 looks quite nice.
I take it Arsenal are favourites, Lewis. They marginal, big favourites. How's it looking?
That is. I should have done my research, shouldn't I?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just threw it at you.
You did just a little bit. We'll come back to individual odds in a minute.
I can look it up while you're telling us about producer Sean's pick. He sees a lot of corners. I mean, he's an Arsenal fan. He wants a lot of corners, basically. It's wishful thinking. 10 plus corners,
9-1, the result.
10 plus corners, 6-5, and the maths with this, because Arsenal are averaging just under 5 corners and Man City are averaging just over 6.5. You just got to think, like, we think it's going to be cagey, so the corners come from the goal being pelted and the goalkeeper saving it out, so could that let us down? Hard to say, but 6-5 for that one.
Arsenal 13-10. The draw's 11-5, and City to win 15-8. So there we are. Just had a
You're doing my job for me. Thank you very much.
The people, one of the more popular bets with the punters who are having a bet builder with you, Haaland to have 1+ shots on target.
Yeah, and I think this could be the one to let us down, and it's the shortest price in the leg at 1-4. He's had 12 shots on target from his last 10 games, which you don't expect from a superstar like Haaland. And 4 of those games have been no shots on target at all. I think this is the ropey one for me.
Yours is you'll see it going all the way then.
Well, this is a bit. Last 6 finals, right? I've done my homework. The last 6 finals from 2001 that have been a draw in the 90 minutes have all finished in a penalty shootout.
Yeah.
Would you want to see if it goes the distance? You don't want to win them in extra time, do you? You want pens, and 9-2 for either team to win on pens is it's not bad.
So on that basis, I would imagine this is not. If all these come off, we'll be sitting pretty, won't we? What sort of odds are we looking at?
We are at 15.5 to 1, so £155 to the Attitude Foundation if we can get this in. And you boys, I think, are on a bit of a decent run with these bet builders at the minute.
Ish. Yeah. Nice one, Lewis. Enjoy the game. Have a good weekend. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, gents.
Lewis Richards there from Paddy Power. That's Paddy's bet builder for today. Minimum odds 1-5 per leg. 18+. BeGamblerWare.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18+. BeGamblerWare.org.
Andy, is there anything pressing from today's papers you want to discuss?
Big news for Rupert Bell, actually.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have to take his Speedos to entry. Entry.
Entry.
You're
very posh.
Yeah.
Oh, entry.
Entry.
They've sold out Ladies' Day already, haven't they?
They've sold out Ladies' Day.
Brilliant.
And it's also going to boast apparently, its own exclusive O Beach, the club launched by Gary Lineker's brother Wayne on the Med Pass. It's sort of like...
well, he does the weight training, Rupert, doesn't he? So he'll be ripped.
He look good.
He'll look the part.
Tremendous.
If he does do that. Yeah.
And talking of posh people news, I know posh people.
We all have a bit of posh people news, yeah. Where have you found this in the court circular? Can't find it, can you?
No, I can't find it. In the court circular, I've got one from the Duke of Kent.
Okay, yeah.
And he attended a performance by the Bach Choir. He thought it was a Bach hand.
Yeah, because he likes tennis, of course.
That's right.
Yeah.
And where are we with this woman?
This woman
that I wanted to do. Oh yes, here we go.
Okay.
Sad tidings. I love these because I just think people don't care.
This is posh people news, yeah.
Sad tidings.
Are you all right today?
I'm not all right today.
Yeah.
It's Chelsea. They're getting.
You're going to go to entry, are you?
Sad tidings for socialite Lady Lola Butte.
She's listening. She listens all. Actually, phones in. Hello, lads. If you're on the sports bar, Lola here. Lola Butte.
Oh, golly.
Great game tonight.
She's parted from her Dutch model boyfriend. Was he a model boyfriend?
Yes, a Dutch model boyfriend. Yeah. He comes from the Dutch model village.
Parker van Noord.
Really?
Yes, the pair have been together since 2022, but are on a break.
Oh, that's a shame.
Who cares, honestly?
Well, I've barely slept since I've heard the news.
Tremendous.
We mentioned Tacky Gnomes earlier on.
Oh, yeah, Tacky Gnomes.
Tacky Gnomes at the Chelsea Flower Show. And I said, is he a Finnish footballer? And, of course, Pete said he's not Finnish, he's only 28. And Mark said, of course, Tacky Gnomes is only 28. And God bless Scott Minto, who got in touch. He's on his holiday and he still got in touch listening earlier on.
He loves talkSPORT.
He got the Jim Rotford gag at the top about James Garner on his answer phone, even if nobody else did.
No, I did.
Certain people of a certain age.
Yes, exactly.
Certain people of a certain age would have done. So anyway, still to come. And we're going to hear from Stan Collymore. I'm sure he'll have his take on what's going on with the England squad. So we'll chat to Stan. We've got a Falls panel. Just a reminder. We're covering Bournemouth, Manchester United, Newcastle, Sunderland, Arsenal, City. We'd like you to join us at 3:45 and predict the scores of those games. The number to call now, and we'll get back to you, 03717 223344. That's 03717 223344. Call us now. We'll get back to you at 3:45. We need you for 10 minutes. You can take us on. Ollie Klink, our Newcastle supporting commentator, fresh from Barcelona. And Clyde Best is going to be joining us in the next hour. The legend that is fantastic, pioneering, legendary West Ham striker Clyde joins us to chat about his new film. And we will have a deeper dive into Bournemouth, Manchester United with Jay Motley from the Stretford Paddock in a few moments' time after the sports headlines.
Yeah.
Aston Villa, 40 goals.
I saw that, mate.
That's incredible, Ali. That's the same as Spurs.
Wow.
Leeds United have scored 37. West Ham have scored 36. But 40 goals for Aston Villa. And yesterday, Watkins, no confidence. When he gets 1v1, he had a chance to get past Maguire, loses the ball. Rodgers was giving the ball away a bit too much yesterday. Buendia offers 0. Leon Bailey comes on, offers less than 0.
I know, mate.
And a lot of the players that are playing at the moment, Ali, have been at the club for far too long.
Yeah.
And that was the oldest, by the way, Mr. McCoist. Aston Villa fielded their oldest starting 11 since 2012.
Was it really?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm loving more than anything? Not even that start. I'm just loving your preparation to know that start, mate. You're all
Ali,
over it, mate.
29 years of age was the average age of Aston Villa starting 11, and that's not like Villa.
No, mate.
Abraham comes on, doesn't look like the Tammy Abraham of old. I think they've got a lot of problems, Ali, and John McGinn, big plus while he was on the pitch, him being back. Tielemans might be back after the international break. But when I look at the squad of players that we've got, Ali, Sancho wasn't available last night. Apart from Rodgers, I don't see a player who can get past a man.
I know what you mean.
I've been having this conversation with so many people. And I go back to my time, Ali. I wasn't a great finisher. But you know what I could do, Ali? I could get past the player.
Yeah, and
I'll get 1v1. I'm taking you on every time.
Gabby, that's what I've said. It's the most important thing in the game, man.
Jay Motti looks ahead to Bournemouth, Manchester United tonight, live on talkSPORT after Max Scott with the sports headlines.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range, supporting van owners to get the job done. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van centre.
Good afternoon, I'm Max Scott here with your sports headlines. Thomas Tuchel's explained that massive 35-man England squad. 11 trusted lieutenants will get the week off as he looks at 19 outfield players and 4 keepers for the Uruguay game. So why has he done it?
To give these players a real chance to impress, to give the players a real chance to compete for minutes and for minutes against Uruguay.
If the World Cup was next week, Tuchel says the following 11 players would be on the plane. Dean Henderson, Dan Burn, Mark Gahey, Esri Concert, Nico O'Reilly, Elliot Anderson, Declan Rice, Morgan Rogers, Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane and Bukayo Saka. They'll come in on the Saturday after the Uruguay game. But there's no place for Trent Alexander-Arnold. We asked Thomas Tuchel if he'd spoken to him about his admission.
Not yet.
You haven't spoken to him at all?
Not yet.
Okay. How do you think he might feel with that? Does he feel his England career might be over then?
I don't know.
And of course, there was a question about 16-year-old Max Dowman.
At the moment, I think he's in a good place to fight for his position, fight for his minutes at Arsenal. We always have the chance to call him maybe up for the World Cup. The thing with young players is to keep their momentum.
Both England games versus Uruguay and Japan are live on talkSPORT. And in other news, Joey Barton's been denied bail. He's been in police custody for 10 days after being charged with assault near a golf course in Liverpool. Loads more on the squad at talksport.com.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. You can't trust the weather right now, but you can always trust Pirelli tyres. In stock now at your local centre. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
In the news headlines, a suspected Iranian spy has been caught trying to get into Britain's nuclear missile base in Scotland, and a former volunteer Metropolitan Police officer has been jailed for 24 years for raping and sexually assaulting a child. Meanwhile, in the weather, a fine, warm day for most of us, apart from in the north and northwest where it's turning cloudier, staying warm and sunny into the weekend.
these two sides generally tend to produce goals.
Inside the penalty area, left-footed shot into the far corner. It's 4-4.
And I expect quite an open game. I think it's true that they've changed a lot. We are also coming in a good run, and I hope we can give them a good game.
Who would I want to watch? Pay money? Bournemouth attacking football.
By Evan Nielsen, the goalkeeper came out, completely missed it.
It's a tough game. It's a tough place to go. They're on a really good run of form. So,
but Manchester United's Champions League charge rolls on. Manchester United 3 after Villa 1.
Do you know what I think for the first time in a long time? They just look comfortable in the environment.
A terrific goal. Manchester United are level, and it's Bruno Fernandes.
I think he's had a fantastic season. I have to say, delighted that he's playing the way he is and having the impact that he is for us.
Yeah, the Premier League weekend kicks off this evening on talkSPORT. Hugh Rosencroft is your host, Sam Matterface and Alan Pardew, your commentary team for Bournemouth versus Manchester United at the Vitality. We should be a good game. Bournemouth's record against United, I think, in recent years has been very good.
But United are playing well. It should be one of the games of the weekend.
Should be. Let's see how Jay Motley, the host of the Stretford Paddock, is feeling about that trip down to the South Coast. Hi, Jay.
Hi, lads. You okay?
Yeah, we're good, thank you. We're not too bad. So, I mean, we've spoken to you over the last few months when things were all going pear-shaped for Amorim, but you're in a happier place now, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, I spoke to you over the last few months where things under Amorim were just pretty deflating. It wasn't terrible in certain respects because we were sort of not that far away from the Champions League spots, but it wasn't anywhere near good enough. And you go back to the Bournemouth home game, that was quite indicative of the problems we had under Ruben Amorim, where I think we went ahead 3 times and we didn't end up winning. Since Michael Carrick's come in, obviously we've had a lot of good results, a couple of not so good ones, obviously the loss at Newcastle, but even being able to bounce back from that with a win shows that, there is a little bit more belief there. The sort of run we're on, the fact we're really sort of looking quite comfortable, if I dare say that, for Champions League football compared to where we were before Michael Carrick came in, then yeah, there's a real buzz about the place and long may it continue.
They're under no pressure. They're playing once a week, and the teams chasing them are all rubbish, aren't they? Liverpool are poor, Chelsea are poor, and Villa are going through a poor trot.
Yeah.
So it's all in. It's all in United.
You do start to wonder whether they could make up ground on City, and a win tonight would certainly
4
help.
points behind, I believe.
I know this sounds a little bit sort of too bit or whatever, or small time, but I'd love it if we could finish above City. We've not done it since Bergie retired. I mean, that record is just terrible. So yeah, finishing above City, considering the sort of the first 2/3 of the season and the way they went, it would be pretty unbelievable, to be honest with you. But look, listen, if we can get Champions League, I'll be happy. That was probably the goal, sort of beginning the season. It looked like it wasn't going to happen at one point, but like I said earlier, since Carrick's come in, now we look.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll help them in the summer transfer windows.
Yeah, sorry, we just lost
They'll
you.
have more money to spend.
You broke up slightly there, Jay, but I think we've got
attractive to players.
Yeah, we've got you back. Yeah, I was going to ask you a question. Oh yeah, you were pretty supportive of Amorim. You were not so much of the job he was doing, but you weren't really for change's sake. So here's Michael Carrick, and we've heard from some of the old pros like Roy Keane and others. They're not quite so sure. They think there's better out there. Do you think there's better out there, or at the moment you giving him the job?
I think if he carries on sort of getting the results he's been getting, then I'd stick with him. I mean, look, I know people will go, oh, we did this with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and it didn't work out, but I think it's completely different than to what happened with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If you look at what actually happened with Ole, we gave him the job halfway through the season, or sort of towards halfway through the back end of the season, if that makes sense. When he started losing games, I think we lost at Arsenal, we lost at Wolves, and then they gave him the permanent job. And I actually don't think Ole was quite as bad as some people have made out. But if Carrick can get us Champions League football, carry on playing the way we've been playing, then why not? I understand people will look at someone like Luis Enrique, and maybe if Tuchel can get persuaded to leave England, some people would prefer him. But I think Michael Carrick, he understands United. He's got the place buzzing. If he can keep getting the results, why not just stick with someone who's doing well rather than changing it to someone who might do well?
No, that's very true. One of those people that could be better out there in the eyes of Roy Keane is Andoni Iraola. Our own Alex Crook is telling us he's heard a whisper that Iraola could potentially head back to Spain. He's an Athletic Bilbao legend, of course, having played 400
I'd love him
games.
to stay in the Premier League.
It would be great.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the chance to go back home and sort of work with a club he loves and, get him firing to the top of the table, could be good for him. But, I mean, how would you feel about Hiro? What do you make of Hiro as a manager? You're going to see him in action tonight. And they're on a 10-game unbeaten run at the moment. They've drawn a fair few, but they're going well, Bournemouth.
No, they are. Look, he's done a great job at Bournemouth, but let's be real, no disrespect to him. Being manager at Bournemouth and having success and being a manager at Manchester United are worlds apart. And there was obviously there was the case being made a few months ago. I think it was it Jamie Redknapp on Sky was saying, oh, why not Iriola? And he had that graphic up that showed he'd not won for 12 games. And it looked quite slightly ridiculous. And there's always this danger that some managers have these spells where they're doing really well and then they have spells when they're not doing so well and people sort of fall out of love with him. I just think if he came to Manchester United and he had a bit of a difficult spell, people would then start thinking automatically, we've made a mistake here because he hasn't got the CV to back up sticking with him, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I just don't think there's a pedigree there with Iriola. He's done a very good job down at Bournemouth, and I'm not trying to be patronising, but he really has. You've got to respect him, what he's done and what he's working with. But coming to Manchester United, where the expectation is a lot higher and the demand and the sort of the scrutiny is a lot higher, I just think he might struggle.
So, if not him, who? Because, I mean, as you say, Mike, you want Michael Carrick to do it, but what kind of profile you think you're looking at if it was someone else?
I mean, the obvious one is Luis Enrique for the reasons that everyone knows. He's won 2 trebles, I think it is. Obviously, smashed it at PSG, smashed it at Barcelona. He has a bit of aura, as the kids say. And I think if he was appointed Manchester United manager, he'd struggle to find many United fans who'd be gutted about that, even though we do like Michael Carrick, because you've gone out there and you've got the best manager who's available. His CV speaks for itself. Other than Luis Enrique, I find all the other candidates slightly flawed. I think, yes, they've had success and there's some good names being mentioned, but a lot of them, like Nagelsmann, like Tuchel, are already in a job, and we don't know what's going to happen after the World Cup. Are they going to stay on? Are we going to have to pay massive compensation? Can we tempt them? So it's I don't say slim pickings because there's managers out there, but the managers that have got the CV, who are available and who you think could do a job at Manchester United, there's not many of them.
No. Well, look, enjoy the game tonight, Jay. Safe journey. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, lads. Have a good one.
There we are. Jay Motley there from the Stretford paddock. Bournemouth, Manchester United, live on talkSPORT tonight. We've got Preston Stoke for you over on talkSPORT 2 as well. Exclusive.
I think Chelsea spoke to Luis Enrique, one of the managers. I think
really?
Pre-Maresca. But I think after a quick chat, he changed his mind. Yeah. Don't blame him. Yes, you'll have no power here. You'll not be able to do anything that you want to do. True. And we'll tell you who to pick. Oh, apart from that, do come in.
Yes. If not Carrick, then Jay's right. You're going to want someone. You couldn't argue with someone like Luis Enrique. And you look at the pedigree, you'd say, well, fair play. Probably Michael Carrick would.
Very good manager.
Now, Fiery Fridays are back again and out now on the talkSPORT Lady podcast. Adrian Durham, Alex Crook, and Angelina Kelly arrive every Friday, armed with one blazing hot take. Not Adrian's
shock jocks.
Not Adrian's first this week after he said Eddie Howe should tender his resignation. They're 7 foot past him. Today's episode, Adrian reveals why he thinks clubs who have never won a major trophy should not be allowed into the Champions League. Well, that's what it used to be like, wasn't it? You had to actually be the champions of your country back in the day.
That's a long time since that's happened.
While Angelina explains why she thinks it was the correct decision to strip Senegal of the AFCON title and give it to Morocco. Well, I'm not.
Very controversial.
I don't agree with that, Angelina. Well, I should listen in. If you want to hear more, then the talkSPORT Daily is available on all podcast platforms now. That does set a very worrying precedent, what they've done. And it feels all very political, doesn't it? It's a weird story, that.
Oh, that? I thought you meant Adrian and Angelina.
Oh, no. Not at all. I'm talking about...
No, I know what you're talking about.
About AFCON.
Absolutely. It's a load of letters.
You're a piece of work, Ed.
David Starr.
Who's David Starr? The David Starr.
What's wrong with me?
I don't know. It's age, isn't it, really?
God, the Daily Star.
I'll come round and see you Wednesday. I'll bring you some of those sweets you like now.
David.
I said I'll come round and see you Wednesday, Andy.
Yeah. This bloke
said... it's going to be like for me in about...
What a mess.
About 2 weeks by the sound of it.
African Cup of Nations. Easy solution. Just replay the final. Maybe in another country. FIFA, sort it out. It's like it's that easy to do.
They won it. They won it. I mean, I know stuff went on, but they did win it.
They did win
didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
I agree with you, actually, as it goes.
I'm not Moroccan. I may have a different... Well, you may have noticed that. I may have a slightly different take on it. Clyde Best was a fine player for West Ham back in the day. And he has quite the backstory, of course. He was a pioneering player in this country. And there's a new film out, the Clyde Best story. And we're going to be chatting to Clive very, very shortly, having a chat with him. Stan Collymore is going to join us to talk a bit of England, see what he makes of that squad and the 11 boys having some time off. And we'll have a Falls panel. Just a reminder, Bournemouth, Manchester United, Newcastle, Sunderland, Arsenal, City in the League Cup final. All of the games we're bringing you on talkSPORT this weekend. And if you would like to try and guess the scores, take us, Ollie Klink, our commentator, 03717 223344. We're here with Toolstation. Explore the full range of garden power tools with top brands such as Karcher and Makita. Next stop, Toolstation.
How have they gone from Club World Cup champions to men against boys? Because that's what that was.
Well, some would argue that was a game where PSG were not the PSG of the cup final that they played 2 months earlier in the Champions League, or a slightly under-aroused PSG that might have not been as motivated by this tournament. Danny will have you believe that this is a meaningless tournament that has no merit in it whatsoever. So when you're comparing the efficacy of a World Club Championship against the deep-seated meaning and the orthodoxy of the Champions League, you might be comparing apples with oranges.
I think, to be fair to Chelsea, in isolation, this two-legged tie against PSG, for 65 minutes in the first leg, Chelsea were really good and competitive, yeah? And there wasn't that much between the two teams. The obvious lack of experience at centre-half and the problems at goalkeeper are evident, and Cara spoke about this on the night brilliantly. This has been coming. You know, they're not great defensively. They have moments where they can concede chance after chance. Some that's not been addressed for a while, since Thiago Silva's left. Now, 2 games against Arsenal they've lost. 2 games against PSG they've lost. There's a gap, no doubt. The disappointing thing, I think, is more so, and where the disgruntlement has come from a group of Chelsea fans, or some, is Leeds at home, draw. Burnley at home, draw. Newcastle at home, lose. That is a build-up of poor performances and bad discipline and sendings off.
Yeah.
And the question marks are inevitable. The question marks are inevitable when you have a run of form where you're not beating the likes of Leeds and Burnley at home and you're getting spanked by PSG.
So you say there's a gap. How big is the gap? And why is there still a gap? Because they're 4 years into this project.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Stan Collymore gives us his take on the England squad shortly. Before that, a new sports documentary, and it tells the story of the great Clyde Best, West Ham pioneering legend of the 70s. Before we chat to Clyde, let's hear a little bit of the movie.
These days, with all the noise on social media, it's easy to miss the legends you've never heard of. The name Clyde Best might ring a bell. Did you know Pelé once stole a Clyde?
I'm the king, you're now the prince.
Clyde showed other young black boys that they could play.
I look at him as the pioneer of black footballers today.
You've got to be tough. I can take this abuse, and I'm going to show you by putting the ball in the back of the net.
Clyde Best, one of the most impactful players that you never knew.
We knew him, of course.
We certainly did. He scored a few goals against my lot, even in the picture that you see scoring against us at Upton Park, which is a bit annoying.
So much.
Anyway,
when you think about the big match and West Ham and Brian Moore and all that,
yeah,
Clyde was such a big part of that.
He's over for some special screenings of the film a little bit later this week, but I think we catch up with him at home in Bermuda. Hi, Clyde.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, we're good. Thanks. We're good, Clyde. Lovely to see you. I mean, you came in and saw us in the studio. It must have been about 7 or 8 years ago, and you're going to be back over, aren't you? Later this week, early next week, to do some screenings and meet some old friends.
Yes, I'll be there on Monday.
Fantastic.
Leave here Sunday.
We'll give you some ticket details very shortly.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. Look, yeah, they were sort of difficult times to be a black player in this country, and West Ham again were a pioneering side. There was Clive Charles and Addy Coker who played at the same time as you. And as you highlight in the film, it was a tough time to be a black player in the Football League, wasn't it?
Yes, it was tough, but you had to be tough individually as well. And I think we done, very well.
Did you have any concerns when you kind of left Bermuda to come over and play in England? Or what it might be like, the atmosphere you might play in some games?
No, I didn't have no concerns at all. I just wanted to be a professional football player, and England was the only place I could go at that time to play. So there was no concerns. I just tried to go about my job the best way I possibly could.
Who scouted you for West Ham? How did they hear about you?
The national team coach at the time was an English man named Graham Adams, and I think he had been on some courses that Ron Greenwood had ran through the FA over the years. And I'm sure that Phil Wooslam had something to do with it, because Phil was the commissioner of the North American and he had seen me play in New York before.
And what did you make of it when you first came over, Clyde, in terms of the standard, the pitches, the maybe some of the tackling that was flying in on you?
Hey, I couldn't wait to suit up and put my boots on and get ready to play.
Yeah.
I was more excited about given the opportunity to be able to go out and play with, at the time, 3 of the best players in the world, and that was Bobby, Jeff, and Martin. And as a 17-year-old, not many kids had that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great West Ham side, a kind of side in transition, wasn't it? As some of those guys that were going to move on, and you were part of that transition from the late 60s into the early 70s.
Yes, as I said, it was a dream come true, to be a young person and had watched these 3 on television 2 years before, with England winning the World Cup and having to come to England and playing with the 3 of them. As I said, it was like being in 7th heaven.
I suppose at the time you don't think yourself as a pioneer and a pathfinder. You're just getting on with your own game. But I suppose when you watch the film and you hear the sort of things that Les Ferdinand and Wrighty and lots and lots of other black players say in the film about what you did for them and giving them the confidence, it must be great.
It's great now that I understand it. And as I said, I knew when I left Bermuda, my dad always told me, Clyde, when you go to England, you're not playing for yourself, you're playing for the players coming after you. So that's the way we went about doing what I had to do. I couldn't be at a better club, West Ham. They already had Clive and John, who were playing for West Ham at the time, and coming in and joining them too. And then Eddie Coker coming along and other guys come and made it, that much better, because it was a great club to have gone to, and I'm glad I made that decision and choice.
You would have heard abuse from the crowd, but I gather you sort of wouldn't have enjoyed social media today, that in a way it makes it worse.
Yes, it's a shame that we're at this level and at this stage of our lives where we're still going through this sort of stuff. And as you say, it's a bit more rugged today because of social media. I advise the players to, hey, just carry on doing what you're doing. You got a job to do. People pay a lot of money to come and watch you play. So just go out and perform and try to block that out and put it in the back of your mind. I know it's tough, but at least try it.
And beyond West Ham, you mentioned Pelé there, and you would have encountered him in the NASL. You went over to the States and had a very successful career over there.
Yes, I did. As I said, I met Pelé many years ago when we at West Ham went over to play in a game in New York one night. And I scored 2 goals. Pelé scored 2. And at the end of the game, he came to me and he said to me, Clyde, I'm the king. You're the prince. So I said, coming from you, Pelé, I would be willing to take that coming from your mouth.
Cool. And you keep an eye on the game over here still, Clyde, because West Ham were going through it, but things have turned around. They're looking better, aren't they?
Yes, they are. You got to give credit to the coach. He's brought in some great players that are able to fill in straight away and get out there and start playing. So you got to give him credit for the job he's done thus far. Hopefully, they're able to continue and prevent themselves from going down.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, Sadler's Wells East in Stratford, they've got some special screenings, and after the film, you'll hear from Clyde. Ali Coke is going to be at those as well, and lots of different people on those evenings. People who you are featuring in the film will be guest starring and chatting to Clyde afterwards. So, look, great to talk to you. We wish you well with the film, Clyde, and thanks very much for joining us today.
Thanks very much for having me, and I hope to see you two there as well.
Yeah, well, sounds good, yeah. I guess, no, it's not too many goals against Tottenham and Chelsea. We won't take kindly to those, but yeah.
That was the day. Those were the days, and they were great days. I mean, I had a lot of great friends at Tottenham, people like Jimmy Gilzine, Johnny Pratt.
Oh, yeah.
Ray Evans, Phil Bill, the list goes on, Steve Pearman. So it was great times. And I only had a job to do. Always remember that.
It's great. It's really taken me back. I'm looking at the poster of you scoring against Tottenham. It's Peter Collins used to stand in for Mike England. Ray Evans, who played fullback. Stevie Perryman's looking on. Pop Robson, your teammate, is watching you drill it in. Chivs at the other end of the pitch looking like, oh no, he's going to score. It's great. It's a beautiful time capsule. And what looks like Ronnie Boyce in the distance. But that's John McDowell. John McDowell in the distance, standing there watching you score. So brilliant. You never forget these guys after all these years.
No, you don't. And football is a big fraternity, and all the guys, they're great people, and people that I'll always remember.
All the best, Clyde. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
The film is called Transforming the Beautiful Game, the Clyde Best Story. And I think the first night is sold out. But if you go to sadlerswells.com, and you can click through and get tickets to watch the movie, hear from Clyde.
If you're a fan of match-worn kits, those kits were brilliant.
That West Ham kit, the light blue one with a claret.
But also the fabric that cotton,
I mean, imagine that's still for sale in the West Ham club shop, isn't it? They're kind of on the old Toffs vintage ones. Yeah,
probably.
Excellent. Good. I'm sure Stan would back up what you're saying. What a great pioneer for black players. Clyde was an amazing striker who scored some brilliant goals. Stan's up next. We're going to talk England. We'll have a Falls panel as well. And later on, some clips of the week.
How do you feel that Jamie's wearing your mask? How do you feel about that?
I can't even see him. I can't see him.
I haven't got the mask on. I haven't got the mask on.
Fully got
I can't see it.
Just breathing in there the lot.
Do you know what? All I can say is I wish I had the mask on now.
To be fair, you look like Ange.
It's just who we are, mate.
Your team play like
Seriously, though, mate. Rosenia,
Can we end it now?
mate. You've turned into a meme club. You are.
Can we end this interview now?
No.
Hold on. Say that again.
You've turned into a meme football club.
I remember. I mean, the last week, I don't think I've ever known a week like it, right? So you go back to Wednesday of last week and 74 minutes on the clock, and you think about what's happened. Conceded 5 goals in 30 minutes.
Slap.
Jesus Christ. Listen,
has anyone seen Candy? Dennis Wise?
Right, okay, hold on.
Solar.
Yeah, hold on.
Listen, who's that? Who's that?
No, leave it, man. Leave it. No, leave it. No, I'm doing this. No.
But did you think you would come from 3-0 down? Did he think he'd come from 3-0 down?
He was confident. It was encouraging signs, he said.
Are you
Encouraging signs.
PSG?
I'm a United fan.
He's a bloody United fan.
Hey!
Don't swear.
Come on, boys. Listen, at the end of the day.
Hold on, who are you playing in the Champions League?
No, listen. Who's going to play next year? Who's going to play next year?
Champions League. I'm getting sick of United fans.
A whopping 35 England players have been named in Thomas Tuchel's final squad before the World Cup selection. No Ollie Watkins, no Max Stowman, no Luke Shaw, but Calvert-Lewin is in, and Kobbie Mainoo is as well, and Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire's never let England down. I know there's been a lot of criticism at club level, but he's back in the United side, playing regularly, enjoying his football, and I've always been a supporter of Maguire.
5 goalkeepers, including Brighton's Jason Steele. He hasn't played in the Premier League all season.
You've got Carl Rushworth, England under-21 international, the best goalkeeper in the Championship at Coventry. I know for a fact that Frank Lampard has held conversations with the England goalkeeper coach about Carl Rushworth. Surely that would be better if you're going to take 5 goalkeepers to plan for the future.
Now, they might be in a relegation scrap, but Ryan Yates told TNT Forest are still dreaming of winning the Europa League.
Shout out to the fans, especially the ones that have travelled here, spending a lot of money, a difficult time for many people. From minute one, they really helped us. And, it took us penalties, but we're through, and that's all that matters.
And Ronnie O'Sullivan's made snooker's biggest ever break, 153 in the World Open. The Rocket snookered Ryan Day to get a free ball before reeling off the 15 reds, 13 extra blacks and 2 pinks before polishing off the colours. There's more, as ever, at talksport.com.
To get the best out of this camp, we decided to kind of split it in two camps.
What was the thinking behind it?
Some of them have over 4,000 minutes, which are just some red flags for me as a coach, that the level of mental and physical fatigue is creeping in.
I think this is such a refreshing approach. The fact they split this into two.
Trent Alexander-Arnold has come onto the field to a whole stadium of boos, it sounded like.
Have you actually spoken to Trent Alexander-Arnold about it?
Not yet.
Does he feel his England career might be over then?
I don't know.
Touchdown, and the youngster taps the ball home!
Well, he put himself in the spotlight now. We always have the chance to call him maybe up for the World Cup.
And he comes towards the penalty spot and it's in! It's in from Harry Maguire!
He deserves to be back in. He has a super weapon regarding set pieces, defensively and offensively.
Yes, Thomas Tuchel named his 35-man squad for the upcoming friendlies, building up to the World Cup. And we were just having a chat off air, myself and Andy, talking about strikers, quality of strikers. And I know it's something that Stan Collymore wants to discuss as well. Hi, Stan.
Paul, Andy, how are you?
Yeah,
good, thanks, Stan.
Not so bad, thanks. We were just chatting to Clyde Best there. I mean, do you remember Clyde in his pomp playing for West Ham?
I do. Absolutely do. And fantastic player and a trailblazer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he was.
So Ollie Watkins, let's talk about him. He's not made it. Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. Obviously, I've watched Villa a lot this season. Just to give people a bit of context, we're really struggling with strikers, whether that be the 17s, 18s, 19s, 20s and 21s. We are not, as a nation, producing anywhere near the amount of strikers. To take you all the way back to when I played, I know a lot of the youngsters will be going, oh, God, here we go, back in the day. But this was the group of strikers that Terry Venables had to choose from, just strikers. We're not talking about generic forwards, wide men that could score, attacking midfielders. Alan Shearer, Teddy Sheringham, Robbie Fowler, myself, Michael Owen, Les Ferdinand, Ian Wright, Andy Cole, Chris Sutton, Dion Dublin, all scoring 20-plus goals a season. We've obviously got Harry Kane always scoring the requisite amount of goals for club and country, having another fine season for Bayern Munich. And Ollie Watkins, of course, we were behind the goal in Berlin when thought Ollie Watkins scored, England might go on and win the Euros. It wasn't to be against a very good Spain side. But Ollie Watkins has dropped off a cliff in terms of his form. He's making the same kind of runs in behind, little darting runs, but it's just not dropping from him. He doesn't look confident. He's taking an age to take chances. He's sometimes not had the rub of the green. But if you put in Ollie Watkins in a group of players and you're thinking to yourself, well, if God forbid anything happened to Harry Kane early on in the tournament or even pre-tournament, there's still a good chunk of the season left, who's going to come in? So I think I echo everybody, Faye, Sam, everybody that said it was really refreshing that Thomas Tuchel has put a lot of thought into, okay, Watkins, not scoring goals, not playing well. I'm not going to reward him with a place in the squad yet. I do think Ollie Watkins will probably travel to the World Cup. I'm going to look at Dominic Calvert-Lewin that has ticked two major boxes. Firstly, he's playing very well for Leeds United. He's line leading, bringing players in. Again, I saw him recently at Villa Park and he played very well. But he's staying fit, Paul and Andy. One of the things I remember talking to Sean Dyche, Steve Stone and Ian Woan about when they had Dominic Calvert-Lewin at Everton was that great lad, great trainer, absolute beast, but we have to wrap him in cotton wool. He's played a lot of consecutive games for Leeds, so that bodes well. So it's effectively Tuchel saying, Ollie, not yet. Can you give us something in the remainder of this season for Villa, which Villa are still in the chase for Champions League, of course, and Europa League. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I'm going to reward you staying fit, your performances for Leeds. There's a chance to get on the flight. So I think that particularly when it comes to goal scorers and centre forwards, the cupboard is relatively bare. But I do like the fact that that Thomas Tuchel is looking outside the box and not just putting his fingers in his ears, hands over his eyes and saying, well, Ollie Watkins must go because he was the guy that deputised for Harry Kane at the Euros.
Dom Solanke's in there. He's the kind of other like-for-like Kane, really. The rest of them, as you said, are sort of wide forwards and those sorts of players.
I quite like Anthony Gordon as striker.
Yeah, he can do that job, but I mean, you'd say Solanke and Calvert-Lewin's kind of in a similar mould. He's only just sort of come back. I'm glad he's in there. Maybe a bit surprised he's in there, but it is a 35-man squad. But he has been playing well, but you could argue he's still a little bit undercooked after a long injury.
Yeah, but I think that he's going to get games, isn't he? Because obviously your lot are down to the bare bones. So you'd imagine that for the remainder of the season, a big game, of course, against Forest at the weekend, is that he's going to get the amount of games to be able to sharpen his tools. Just very briefly, these are the English players in the top goal scorers charts, which is why it's very, very important we find somebody. Phil Foden, who's had a poor season, seven Premier League goals. I'm surprised it was that high. Watkins 8, Morgan Gibbs-White 8, Morgan Rogers 8, Jared Bowen 8, Cole Palmer 9, Danny Welbeck 10, and Calvert-Lewin 10. So we're not looking at a vintage, goal scoring season for English forwards generally. So Solanke's in the equation, but I think that what Thomas Tuchel will be looking at. I heard, the rumours of Newcastle United potentially in the summer for Liam Delap, is that I do wonder what role Marcus Rashford will have to play, because he's just done the kit launch. It's him in the New England kit for the World Cup. Thomas Tuchel likes him a lot. And it just does make you wonder down the line whether, if Harry Kane wasn't the go-to guy, in terms of the number 9 role, whether you could even shove Marcus Rashford into that position. So, look, whether it be Dominic Calvert-Lewin, whether it Ollie Watkins, whether it be Dom Solanke, I think there is a major concern as England hopefully go through a tournament, that we have the requisite backup for who is a world-class centre forward, and that's Harry Kane.
There's no place for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Faye put some questions to Thomas Tuchel, and I think he didn't want to expand on it, quite monosyllabic in reply. What do you make of that, Stan? Would he be in your squad?
Well, if you're looking about tactical flexibility, from a squad, I always remember going back to Euro 96, Steve Stone, my teammate at Nottingham Forest, was nowhere to be seen in terms of the England conversation. And then he got into an England squad and he stayed in for quite a while, and he was a pivotal player. And, that may well be Garner, that can play in a number of different positions and has had a fine season for Everton. Lights fires in midfield. He can go past people, and that's exactly what's going to be needed. In terms of Trent, it's a difficult one. I mean, I know that we've just had yet more news about Reece James and a hamstring injury, but I think that James, for me, has shown this season, when he has stayed fit, I think he's a country mile ahead of Trent as a right back, as a defensive right back. And I think he started to show not just his ability to get forward. They came to Villa the other week and absolutely trounced us. And Reece James was absolutely top draw down that right-hand side. Defensively very good, offensively very good. His passing was superb. So I think he can look at, Thomas Tuchel can look at Trent now and say, is he a need? If we're going to get the sort of, Livramentos and Reece James, people like that fit, and Garner can play in a number of roles, and we've got flexibility and versatility in other roles. Do we need Trent Alexander-Arnold? And the answer probably is no, we don't.
Stan, thanks. Stan's going to stick around for the Falls panel. It's coming up very, very shortly. We'll look at 3 big games, all of which you'll hear on talkSPORT this weekend. Ollie Klink will tell us about his trip to Barcelona to watch Newcastle. I'm sure they had a good time on the Ramblas, if nowhere else. But just to let you know that Chris Evans on Virgin Radio has had some great guests this week, and TFI Unplugged has all the best bits. Enjoy Chris in conversation with the multi-talented James Corden and award-winning actor James Norton, as well as live music from lots and lots of fine bands. You can watch TFI Unplugged on Virgin Radio's YouTube channel. And as we said, the Falls panel next. We're here with Toolstation. Get your home spring ready with great deals on top paint brands like Dulux, Crown and Leyland. Next stop, Toolstation.
feel that Arne Slot is getting his excuses in early before they meet PSG?
I just think that ultimately Liverpool have had a great result and well done them. And you know, people suggesting that Arne Slot was under pressure for this game, they've come out and smashed Galatasaray.
Right.
Fantastic. But I don't like managers building in some comfort zone into... There's no need to build up PSG as a boogeyman. There's every suggestion that you shouldn't be sitting there on television like I was advocating for a moment ago saying, we're going to smash PSG, because I know that puts you as a hostage to fortune.
Right.
But there's no need to start building in how good PSG are, what they are and what they're not. Who cares? How good are you and what do you do? And there's no need to build in the fact that you're playing Brighton on Saturday at 12:30, because, by the way, Brighton haven't got the same sort of squad as you got.
All right.
So,
I mean, but surely last night against Galatasaray, it was a near-perfect performance. Is that not what Liverpool fans worldwide have been calling out for? And is it going to go anyway to calming the Slot sceptics, of whom there are many? Ian, big Liverpool fan, you're first up again. What would you like to say? Good morning.
Hi, lads. Okay.
Good, Ian.
I totally agree with Simon. He's getting like a buffer in place there before we play them. He shouldn't be saying things like that. We're playing PSG. They're a good side. They won it last year. But at the end of the day, you know, we're Liverpool Football Club. And what we've got to do is just get at them and the same type of tempo we played last night, that's what we need even more. So I totally agree with Simon. Sometimes in some of his language he says on the interviews, it does sound like he's getting excuses in early, and it gets on my nerves. You know, if he fails to realise he's managing one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Time then to look at three big games this weekend and try and predict the scores. They're all live on talkSPORT. If we get them absolutely right, we'll get 3 points. We get one for the outcome, nothing for getting it wrong. And history has been made. I don't think this has ever happened before.
Never happened.
It's come from the unlikeliest of sources with respect to Charlie Baker, because he sat in for Andy and he got 9 points. 3 absolute correct scores. I bet he didn't have a bet on it.
Yeah, we've been a good accumulation.
And he's taken you off the bottom. You were so far adrift, Andy.
I'm right back in it.
You are. You are now second from bottom. The callers have gone to the bottom of the table. Whoever sat in for me, Clinky, and one or two others, have left me mired in mid-table. So I've got the 3 points. I'm on 53. Then a decent leap for the commentators. So when I left, I'm sure the commentators were floundering, but now suddenly they're doing all right. Nigel Adley got 4 points last week. He was on good form, so they're on 60. But Stan is still there at the top.
Yeah, still at the top.
On 62. Yeah, Ollie Klink is our commentator. Hi, Ollie.
Yeah, I haven't done it for ages, which is probably why the commentators have gone up the table a bit. But yeah, well done, Charlie, as well.
Yeah, well done.
He's like the Rob Edwards of the False Panel.
That is incredibly impressive.
Analogy.
How was Barcelona apart from the match?
It was incredible.
Imagine being in there, watching your team in the new camp must have been amazing.
Absolutely amazing, yeah. And luckily the TV cameras, when they cut to the away end, as I found out, were focused with me next to Jack Cunningham right in the middle. So you could see us looking quite disappointed quite a few times. I think one of them caught me mid-rant. So, but it was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And the first half was great. It was all looking brilliant.
Couldn't have seen that coming at all.
Downhill, yeah.
So let's say hello to John, the Spurs fan. Hello, John.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Andy. How are you?
Yeah.
Right, John.
Nervous, John? Nervous about Sunday?
Yeah, I used to have fingers. I'm now got just knuckles.
Right.
Yeah.
I've talked to Max Scott, our newsreader today, our sports newsreader. He's a Forest. He's going to be there. He's very nervous. A lot of nerves. And West Ham are playing at the same time, so it's going to be like the last day of the season.
Yeah.
Where it might be a big cheer if Villa score, which probably a big cheer from Stan. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we? We're going to start with Bournemouth, Manchester United. We had a chat with Jay Motti a little bit earlier on about the game, but let's get Stan's take on this one live on talkSPORT tonight.
Yes, Bournemouth unbeaten in the last 5 against Manchester United, but Manchester United have won 22 points under Michael Carrick. It's the most in the Premier League since his arrival, so they're in bang fine form. I saw that myself with their filleting of Aston Villa last week. And Bruno Fernandes is looking to create 6+ chances in a game for the 4th successive game. That hasn't happened since before records began, which was 2003, 2004. So he's on absolutely fine form. Not a happy hunting ground traditionally for United. I think that they will turn it on its head. Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 3.
3, says Stan. Ollie, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I feel like it's the kind of game where Bournemouth will turn up, but you can't really ignore Manchester United's form, so I'm going to go with 1-1.
1-1. I've gone for the draw as well. I think on this unbeaten run, they've been drawing a lot of games. They've got a lot of good players. Rayan's going to be flying. He's made the Brazil squad. I'm going to go 2 each. John, the Spurs fan.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Carrick's really done something to that Man United team, and I've got a feeling that they might just pinch this. So I'm going to go Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 2.
Okay, 2-1, says John. And finally, Andy, or should I give Charlie a call?
Yeah, you should. That's true. Everyone goes on about Carrick, but Steve Holland is a crucial figure there.
Yeah, he has been very important.
So
yeah.
I think United will win this. I think they're going to go 2-1.
2-1 Manchester United there, agreeing with John. talkSPORT listeners home in the car. Next up, it's the Tyne-Wear derby, Newcastle United versus Sunderland. They played in December, and Sunderland won that 1-0, which you'll remember.
It was a good finish, wasn't it?
Yeah.
From Volkswagen.
Stan, what about this one?
Yeah, Ollie doesn't need me to tell me about Newcastle's recent, long-standing poor form against their nearest and dearest. Sunderland unbeaten in their last 10 games against Newcastle. The Toon winless in the last 5 at home against the Black Cats. But in March, they've had a decent March so far. They've beaten Manchester United and Chelsea so far in March. I'm going to go, after the gubbing at the Camp Nou, a reaction needed. War flags are going to be out in the Gallagate. No sob on the time. Newcastle 2, Sunderland 1.
2-1, says Stan. So, Ollie, what about this one?
Yeah, it had to get sobbing on the Tyne in there. Stan, it's a big game for Eddie Howe, this, I think. Really big game. Can't lose this at all, because then it would be the double for Sunderland. I think there'll be a reaction as well. They haven't been playing too badly, actually, in recent weeks. I know the Nou Camp was a bit of a disaster, but they've been all right. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Newcastle win.
2-0 Newcastle win. I mean, Sunderland have put all the hard yards in, and they are safe, and you can understand the let-up. And as Andy was saying, all the boys back from AFCON have not been quite the same. But I think they'll raise themselves for this. I think it's going to be a really tight old game. But I think you'll get it done, Ollie. I do. I just think that you'll be playing angry. I agree with Stan. 2-1 Newcastle. John, the Spurs fan.
I think there could be so many goals in this game.
There could be. There could be, yeah.
Oh, by the way, sorry. Good afternoon, Ollie and Stan. Didn't mean to leave you out.
We should have done it the other way round, really. That's what we normally do. So, yes.
I think this is going to be a high scorer.
Oh, okay.
But I fancy Newcastle 3-2.
3-2, says John. Okay.
It's going to be a tight old game. It's not going to be 3. I'd be amazed if it's 3-2.
Yeah.
But it might be. Who knows? I'm going 1-0, the opposite sort of thing.
1-0 to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they'll have enough.
TalkSport listeners home in the
I was
car.
overly impressed with them last week, but they had nothing to beat, really.
No, exactly. Yeah, it's a bit too easy.
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
it?
God, not half.
Andy always faults him in his praise for the opposition when Chelsea are beaten. TalkSport listeners home in the car. Arsenal versus Manchester City, the Carabao Cup final, live on TalkSport, as will be Newcastle Sunderland exclusively at midday on Sunday. Why are they having an early kick-off, I wonder? Anyway, Arsenal versus Manchester City. What about this one, Stan?
Straightforward from me. City 2 inconsistent. Arsenal finding ways to win. Trophy 1 of a potentially unprecedented 4 this season for the Gunners. Incoming. Arsenal 2, Manchester City 1.
2-1, says Stan. What do you think, Ollie?
I think that Arsenal will take this. I think they're catching Manchester City at the right time. They're on the up. I'm going to go with Arsenal 2, Manchester City 0.
2-0. I think there might be some nerves. It is part one of what could be pretty historic for them. You know, City is still City, and we were doing the bet builder earlier on. I think this could go long, possibly even to penalties. So I'm going to go 1-1 at 90 minutes. John, the Spurs fan.
I agree with you, Paul. I'm going for a Desmond at 90 minutes.
Okay, well, that'll be entertaining for the TalkSport listeners. And Andy.
Desperate for City to win this one.
Yes.
Really, honestly, I think I'm
so bitter.
Honestly, I will be so happy if they win. But sadly, I don't think they will. I think it's Arsenal's year. It's all in their favour. I'm going 1-0 to the Arsenal.
1-0 the Arsenal classic scoreline in 90 minutes, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Even though I didn't do that on the bet builder.
It's great, and he just changed his mind on the bet builder.
That's me.
One of them will come in.
TalkSport listeners. Yeah, that's it. That's how he does his Cheltenham bet. So there we are. Thank you, John. Enjoy the game on Sunday. Well, we won't enjoy the game on Sunday. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thanks very much, fellas. And just before I do leave, I just want to say biggest well wishes to Danny Kelly. I wish him all the best in the world to him and his family for the next however long it takes him to get better.
Yeah, well said, John. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thanks for doing that.
Stan does too.
And thank you, Ollie.
Thanks very much, guys.
You in action this weekend for us?
I will be doing some live championship games tomorrow over on TalkSport 2, so hosting the coverage of that. It's a pack. They've got 3 games as well.
Excellent. And Stan, always a pleasure. We're going to catch up with you next week.
Yeah, I just want to echo what caller said. Send him my love to Danny. Sent him a message, but a big influence on me for many, many reasons, and sending him much love.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Stan. Yeah, a lot of love for Danny since he made that announcement. He's still going to be joining us. He won't be able to join us on Monday, but he will be joining us at points through his treatment and his recovery. And we're always happy to have him on the show every Monday. He's very much a fixture on this show. It's Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on TalkSport, and still to come, the clips of the week. Top Macklin will join us. It's March Madness, and there's been some brilliance from 2 great sports people in the worlds of darts and snooker, and Rob Moore, who covers both those sports, will be joining us to talk more about what they've achieved.
What does that framework look like? Are we talking about like back end of summer? We could see AJ back in the ring if it all goes well. You know, where is it? And do we still get that Tyson Fury fight possibly at the back end of this year?
I think that him fighting in the summer is hopefully what we're working towards. But it's very different him training as he has been and going back into a proper full-on camp. And I think that's what we have to see over the next few weeks, how he gets back into those full camps, those training sessions. The Fury fight is the one everyone wants. We all want it. We're all fans.
2 years,
as well.
isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, if AJ fights in the summer, it's 2 years. Put Jake Paul to one side, all respect, but it's 2 years since a competitive fight. So there's going to have to be some finessing and ensuring that he can get to the levels that require him to be at to fight someone like Fury.
I think the problem we've got, obviously, with Anthony Joshua, and a massive hurdle he has to overcome is this psychological damage that he's got going in there, and that's bigger than the physical battle. That's bigger than the warm-up fights, etc., etc. And that's where none of us are going to be able to give those answers until AJ sort of.
Well, I think in part that battle has been embraced by Anthony by saying he wanted to fight. I think most people were expecting him not to. I think people saw him in London post the circumstances in December and felt that there was very little chance that Anthony was psychologically and physically wanting to fight again. That he made that choice himself. So I think he's embraced that battle already.
And he's 100% positive that is the case, Frank. He wants to fight again. He wants to fight this year.
Yeah, look, it's his life. As I say, it's all he's known and it's all he's focused on for the last 17, 18 years since he went to the Olympics and won the gold medal and then became world champion.
Stick around for the clips of the week at 3:30, and we'll be hearing from some of the gaffers ahead of the big games in the weekend and the Carabao Cup final. But first, Max Scott has the sports headlines.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles built around your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Thank you, Paul. Good afternoon. Thomas Tuchel's announced his 35-man England squad for the upcoming World Cup warm-up games, but he's given 11 players, arguably his most trusted lot, the first week off. Here's why.
All of these guys have played 3,500 and plus more minutes. Some of them have 4,000 minutes. More important than the pure number of minutes is that some of these guys have already played more minutes than the whole last season.
Tuchel says those 11 players, including Mark Gahey, Declan Rice, Harry Kane and Bukayo Saka, would be on the plane if it was leaving tomorrow. But Trent Alexander-Arnold is the most notable omission. Tuchel told talkSPORT he didn't even call him before to let him know, something which concerns Gabby Bonlahor.
Baffles me. I get it. Trent is not the best of defenders. I get it. But his distribution, what he can do with a football, with a 35-man squad, to not pick him. Are we talking about, is that a bit personal?
James Garner gets his first senior call-up. Tuchel says the Everton midfielder is underrated.
He plays several positions. I saw him many times live. I was always impressed with his work rate, always impressed with his physicality. I think it's a pleasure to play with him. He's a fantastic teammate.
And Harry Maguire and Kobbie Mainoo also return to the fold. Elsewhere, Arne Slot has confirmed Mo Salah will miss Liverpool's trip to Brighton tomorrow with a muscle injury. And some breaking news in the world of F1. Aston Martin have confirmed that team principal Adrian Newey will step down after just 2 races of the season. He's been replaced by Audi F1's team principal Jonathan Wheatley. Newey will continue as technical partner, though.
talkSPORT News.
A former Metropolitan Police volunteer has been jailed for 24 years for sexually assaulting a child. And legendary actor and martial artist Chuck Norris has died at the age of 86. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Spring forwards with Bridgestone Turanza all-season 6 tyres with a 25,000 mileage guarantee. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Staying warm and sunny for most into the weekend. Some light rain in northwest Scotland this evening.
Hawksbee and Jacobs here on talkSPORT. We've got clips of the week to come. Todd Macklin, it's March Madness. If you don't know what it is, you will by the end of Todd's bit. But just pick up on Max's story there from the world of F1. Aston Martin have had a pretty tough start to the season and have decided to make a pretty huge change. You just heard after 2 races. John Jackson, our motorsport expert here at talkSPORT, explains all.
Well, we're only 2 races into the new era of Formula One, and already silly season is upon us. The breaking news: Adrian Newey, the team principal and chief car designer for Aston Martin's Formula One team, has stepped aside, and they've got a brand new team principal coming in the shape of Jonathan Wheatley, a man that Adrian Newey knows incredibly well. They worked together at Red Bull. They were very successful together at Red Bull. He's been leading the Audi project for the last 10 months or so, and after just 2 races there in charge of a team with big plans, huge ambitions, he's taken the decision to come across and see if he can turn around the fortunes of Aston Martin, who have struggled so far this year. They've only managed to do a handful of laps at each race weekend. They haven't finished a race at all, and they've got some significant issues with the car, with the engine, and everything else going on behind the scenes. So a big task for Jonathan Wheatley. For him, I'd imagine a move back to the UK was attractive. Perhaps financial remuneration would be pretty good as well. And for Adrian Newey, he goes back to doing what he does best, focusing on car design, that he has been incredibly successful. In fact, probably the best ever car designer in Formula One history over the last many, many decades. So Adrian Newey out of the team principal role at Aston Martin, and coming in from Audi, it's Jonathan Wheatley.
There we are. Thank you, John Jackson there. That's the information we have here at talkSPORT. We understand from the stories that have been widely reported.
I was thinking, Sport, if you make a bad appointment, you shouldn't be afraid to change it quite quickly. No, seriously.
Andy. John was over in Madrid there in the rain, by the way.
Lovely.
Isn't it good when someone's exotic like Madrid and it's raining?
Yeah, it's good.
And like you look out the window and it's quite sunny. Yeah, he's over there for talkSPORT's commentary of the Formula E race this weekend. You can listen from 2 p.m. on the talkSPORT Driving YouTube channel. So we've seen some feats of brilliance from 2 of our finest sportsmen in the world of darts and snooker. And a man that strides both sports like a colossus is the Sun's very own Rob Moore. Good afternoon, Rob.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
And funny, at the other age of the age, or the other end of the age spectrum.
Yeah, 2 brilliant sports people, but at very different stages of their careers. Let's start with Luke Littler, shall we? In the Premier League darts in Dublin.
I caught that last night. It was amazing.
5-0 down to Gerwyn Price.
Yeah, that's when I came in.
Really? You came in at that, or that was very timely?
I think it's going to be all open. It wasn't.
And he came back to win 6-5.
Yeah, he survived 5-match darts as well against Gerwyn Price, and he got the first leg. He'd never been whitewashed before in the Premier League in 3 campaigns. He got the first leg, so he was 5-1 down. He started giving it back to the crowd that had been jeering him, and then he just kept on winning, and Price kept missing. And one of the great comebacks of his career. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're 5-0 down, staring at a barrel, he even mentally said, "I'd gone." I was already waving goodbye to the crowd. So the very fact, it's interesting, isn't it, in those type of sports, when you're actually behind sometimes and you've got nothing to lose, particularly in darts, does the arm get freer? Because, in theory, Price should have won that night. He should have won in Dublin and ended up losing, being the runner-up. So a tremendous performance. It just shows with Littler, even if you're ahead, you've just got to nail it, the coffin, in that final coffin, inside that nail in the coffin, because he will just come back, won't he? We saw it at the match play last year. And it's quite ominous, really, having had a poor Premier League campaign so far. He's starting to find his stride, and you'd fancy him if he carries on like to win the top.
A penny for old Gerwyn Price's thoughts. So what was he like at the end, Andy? I didn't see.
He was all right, actually.
Was he quite stoic about it?
I think they have a different view for the Premier League. They know it's a long season.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, isn't it, really?
I think they were talking about the playoffs and all that sort of thing, so I think that's when it gets. But it is interesting with the crowds in darts. I've noticed this, that a lot of them giving Littler a bad time, a hard time. You think, this is one of the greatest players ever to play.
When you're at the top, Rob, this always happens. It used to happen to the power, didn't it?
People should appreciate it.
It's a bit of panto, isn't it?
Yeah, we saw at the World Championships, didn't we, how he reacted to that when he was playing, and the crowd abuse. He is the dominant force. He's only got 2 more titles to go, the World Cup and the Europeans, and he's done the clean sweep at the age of 19. So you're right, he's the winner. And people want to see it. They'll root for the underdog in this case. So he's going to have to deal with that, I think, going forward, particularly when he goes to Germany, when he's going to get targeted, he's going to get whistled, and he's going to get jeered. But whatever you throw in Littler's path, he does seem to solve the puzzle, doesn't he? He's certainly proven that many, many times. So he's managing to cope. It's all part of the learning curve, isn't it? When you think this guy only broke through 2.5 years ago. So it's quite extraordinary what he manages to deal with.
Well, still going strong. A whole lot older than Luke Littler is Ronnie O'Sullivan, who's made snooker history. It's sport's highest ever professional break, a 153.
It takes a bit of explaining how it happened, because normally we think of it as a 147, don't we?
Yeah, that's right. It's probably 155 is the best you can ever do, but this isn't far off. So how does it work? How do you achieve a 153, Rob?
So Ryan Day, the cue ball went in, gave 4 points away. Then Ryan Day was in a difficult position. He gave away 12 more points. So Ronnie's 16-0 up. And after the third foul in that sequence, the referee said, right, it's a free ball. You can't see both sides of a red with the cue ball. So Ronnie has a free ball and he elects to pot the green, which is 1 point. He then brings the cue ball down, pots a black. So that's 8 points, okay? And then we start the conventional break. So red, black, red, black, red, black. Had he potted all the blacks, it would have been a 147 break. As it was a break of 145. So that's red, black. So that was 15 reds, 15 blacks, 3 pinks, and 2 greens because one was a free ball, a brown and a blue. So yeah, it's 8 points, essentially a free ball and a 7. So that's 8 plus a 145, which makes a 153. And I was texting with one of his pals who was eating tonight, saying, "Well done, Ronnie, but come on, try and get a 155 next time." So that's the way to do it. But to put it into context, Ronnie had never done more than a 147 in practice. Only one person, Jamie Burnett, penny for his thoughts, in 2004 had got a 148. And that we'd never seen anybody in professional snooker do more than a 147. So we'd never seen someone get the benefit of a free ball and then a huge monster break like that. So at the age of 50, 34 years since he turned professional, he's still managing to produce these record-breaking, gobsmacking, mind-blowing feats. And don't forget, of course, last August he got 2 147s in the same match in Saudi. So all roads lead to the Crucible, and Ronnie clearly is in very good form.
Yeah,
amazing.
He is. He's an absolute genius, isn't he? At times you kind of get the sense he's fallen out of love with the game, but he still happens to be so incredibly good at it, doesn't he?
It was funny because he said, this is what he said post-match, and he was in good form actually, both on and off the table, and he said, if the excitement is there, if the buzz is there, I'll go for it. I think he's done so much that he needs a little bit extra incentive. He did moan though, I wish there was a bit more than a bit more money on it. And there's a $5,000 bonus for getting the highest break. I don't think anyone else is going to be beating that in the remaining couple of days of the competition, but he said, I wish there was more for it. So look, I mean, he's doing all these things, and for him to get normally that break would break down, wouldn't it? Normally you'd get the free ball and you wouldn't be able to do this. But if you get a chance to watch it, that last black, which was pretty much on the cushion, the way he managed to keep his nerves, keep his composure was very incredible. Mark Allen was on the other table. He actually stopped playing and watched. And Neil Robertson's paid tribute on social media. It's quite extraordinary what he's able to do. The actual break took about 8.5 minutes. Wow. So that's quite a significant thing in itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then, of course, poor Ryan Day sitting there. He's got the best seat in the house in Italy. He's then thinking, my goodness, I've only lost the first frame. And then Ronnie comes up and hits more centuries and whitewashes him 5-0. So Ronnie hasn't won trophy for about 2 years now. I would put him as a good bet to win the trophy this weekend in Yushan. And then, as I say, all roads lead to Sheffield next month. Can he get the 8th world title? As brilliant as Ronnie is, and we know that, the question now is, can he sustain that over the course of 17 days?
Yeah.
And the marathon.
Grueling, isn't it? The World Championship. Yeah, good stuff, Rob.
Brilliant, Rob. Good to talk to you as always. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Rob Moore there from The Sun, who covers darts and snooker, and yet two guys at different ends, potentially of their career, but just on fire at the moment. Luke Littler and Ronnie O'Sullivan. Tom Macklin joins us next. We're in the midst of March Madness. You may know what that is. You may not, but the country is gripped by it, and their brackets. They're not putting up shelves. Don't worry. We'll explain all what's going on.
We've sort of seen brackets in the Champions League.
Yeah, you have. That's true. Now, you can check out talkSPORT. Sorry, not talkSPORT. I don't know. Maybe we have got a tool station around the corner. Well, yeah, if you check out a wide range of garden power tools at Tool Station with brands such as Bosch and Ryobi. Next stop, Tool Station.
You know he's Brazil's all-time goal scorer.
I don't care. He's got
more goals than Pelé.
Was Pelé all that? Was he all that, Pelé? Would Pelé get in to Arsenal's team now?
Hold on. What do you mean?
Would Pelé get in Arsenal's team now? Would he get ahead of Martinelli?
You don't think Pelé's any good?
I never saw it. I mean, all I've seen is
you're not having him better. You don't think he's better than Gyökeres?
I don't know whether Pelé was as good as everyone said.
He won 3 World Cups.
I know, but that was back then, wasn't it?
What do you mean?
I know.
You're not having Pelé?
No, it's a little bit like someone winning. Let's say back in like the
hat-trick in a World Cup final.
Let's say like in the early 1800s, early 1900s, someone won Wimbledon 25 times. They're not going to be better than Federer or Djokovic.
Right, but Pelé can't help the fact that he was born in whenever he was born in the 60s.
At that time, Pelé was obviously very good.
Right.
But don't tell me Pelé gets an Arsenal's team now.
What do you mean?
The best side in the country. Who's he getting?
He's not getting in front of Gyökeres.
He ain't getting ahead of Saka.
Are you having a laugh?
No, I'm not.
What?
No.
I can't believe you said that.
I've never
heard you come. I've never heard you come out with so much guff.
No, but we don't.
Pelé.
But we don't know how good Pelé was.
What do you mean?
We are told.
What do you mean?
No, at the time,
he won 3 World Cups.
No, I know he did, and I'm not taking that. Of course, I'm not.
It's not like he played in the 1600s.
No, I know, but
we saw footage.
Yeah, we did see footage. But what I'm saying is, back then, football is a.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it! We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Win a VIP trip to the British Grand Prix on talkSPORT.
Sorry about that. Yes, we're down to the final day of this fantastic competition. I want to send you and a mate to Silverstone, July the 5th, British Grand Prix. You won't have general admission. You're going to be right in the heart of it all with the full racing green trackside experience, exclusive grandstand seats, inner track access. You're going to get all-day street food, fully open bar, and more. So it ends at 4 o'clock today. So you've got just over 40 minutes to enter. How do they do that, Andy?
For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate. Or call 0343 418 7260. Lines closed today at 4 p.m. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 right now.
Time then to talk American sports with Todd Macklin. Good afternoon, Todd.
Hi, boys.
Well, the nation is in the grip of March Madness. This is college basketball. It goes front, even though the NBA's ongoing. It's getting.
This is bigger than the NBA.
This is huge, isn't it,
Yeah.
Todd? It's everybody just sort of sits down and gets tucked into college basketball.
They do, and you have so many people watching college basketball that has never watched before because of the betting. So listen, this March Madness is very similar to the FA Cup, and it's a single elimination tournament. So basically the March Madness proper, if you will, has 64 teams. It's divided into 4 regions. You have 16 teams in each region, and then each team is seeded 1 through 16 in each region. And you have a bracket, right? So before the tournament starts, you kind of pick all the teams, and you pick your eventual champion of March Madness. Because with the bracket, it kind of shows you, hey, if this team wins, it will play the winner of these 2 teams play, and so on and so on. The amount of money is in the billions of dollars that is bet on March Madness. And what I have found is usually the people who know the least about college basketball do the best in these March Madness pools, because they bet based on nicknames and, and just, hey, I had a friend who went to this university or college, and it just captivates people, because you don't have to know about basketball to pay your money and to get into a bracket and then watch the games. And you're watching for upsets. We had upsets yesterday. North Carolina, right? One of the most famous U.S. college basketball teams. They were a 6th seed in their bracket, and they lost to an 11th seed. So the biggest upset yesterday was Wisconsin was a 5 seed. They lost to a 12 seed. And we almost had a 16 beat a 1. Duke was trailing Siena at late in yesterday's game, and ended up avoiding the upset of and just the disgrace for a 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed. So it was only day 1 yesterday. We've got many more days of March Madness over the next few weeks.
It sounds like it is good to go on sort of colours of kits and nicknames, because it sounds difficult to predict.
Oh, yeah.
So
it is incredibly difficult to predict, right? I mean, sports is. And then you put something like this. Remember, it's university, it's teenagers playing in these games. So they're incredibly, listen, the NFL is incredibly difficult to predict. And then you just throw everything, and it's just fun. You kind of pay your $20 or whatever the pool is. You pay your $20, and then you have your bracket with you as you watch the games. I had that team, so now I've lost that team in that region and stuff like that. It's incredibly fun.
It's a bit like our Grand National, I guess, Andy, isn't it, from that point?
It is. The funny thing, the March Madness, but the Final Four is actually in April. But
yes, well, I mean, that's
the way.
The madness starts in March.
Yeah.
Now, we got the NFL draft next month, and they've just had the NFL Combine, that last chance for them to take a look at the prospects that they may want to sign, putting them through all sorts of physical and mental tests. So what did we learn? Well, I think we learned that Notre Dame have got some good players. There's this guy, Jeremiah Love. I've read a couple of things about him, and he could be potentially #1 pick.
Yeah, I've seen his name more kind of 4 or 5 in the draft, Love. Listen, I think it's kind of an adjustment period for NFL teams. They've obviously been focused on the draft, but we just had NFL free agency, and that changes a lot in the draft as well, right? If you end up having a great free agent period where you sign a lot of guys at a position that you thought was a need before, maybe it's not as big a need, and maybe in the draft you go off that position and take another position. So that's where teams are now. They're making the adjustment based on how well they did in free agency. Listen, I think the big thing is Fernando Mendoza, right? The guy, the quarterback from Indiana who won the Heisman last year as the best college football player. I think he is going #1 to the Raiders. The Raiders were very active in free agency. Their biggest signing was a center, an offensive lineman. So that kind of leads us to believe, listen, that it's kind of no doubt that they're going to take a quarterback. And they traded Geno Smith, the Raiders did, who was their quarterback last year, played a lot of games last year. It just feels like Mendoza's locked in as the #1 to the Raiders.
Now, LeBron James is obviously thinking about life after basketball. And one of the things he's interested is taking...
I don't know he's going to make ends meet, though.
I think he'll get some part-time bar work. I imagine he'll be a pot man.
I'm quite concerned for him.
NBA, he'd like to buy an NBA franchise, and there's a couple earmarked, one in Seattle and one in Vegas, and that seems to be the one that's interesting him. But, he's rich, but he's not that rich. Well, he's certainly not going to spend all his money on a franchise, and he's going to need Fenway on board, and it seems they're not quite as keen as he is.
That is the word on the street, Paul, that LeBron is more interested in being an NBA owner than the Fenway Group. And you are so right about the money. Yes, LeBron has a lot of money, but the ticket apparently for one of the two NBA expansion teams, and they seem to be Vegas and Seattle, seem to be what are going to be the two NBA expansion teams. The dollar figure I've heard is $8 billion.
Wow.
And LeBron would be the face of that group, but he needs some money, man. And the Fenway Group, it seems like it's a little too rich for them, or at least that's what we're hearing right now. LeBron's come out and said he's not interested, which usually means he is interested, right? When you say you're not. And I will say for LeBron, man, he is focused solely on court with the Lakers right now. A couple nights ago, LeBron played. He missed one shot in the game, made 13 of 14 shots. Last night, he had a triple-double at 41 years old. The Lakers have won 8 in a row. So, listen, yes, LeBron thinking about life after basketball, but I think he's solely focused on the Lakers right now. They're third in the West. OKC and San Antonio are the clear favorites for the NBA title. But, hey, a lot of things can happen. And I think the Lakers really like where they are right now as far as being a title contender.
We want to squeeze in a couple of stories very quickly. One's like a "you are the ref." NBA fans learnt a new rule this week. Oklahoma City Thunder, Alex Caruso, his shoe came off, size 13 shoe. Before he could put it back on, the game continued, and he blocked a shot from one of the Orlando Magic players with his sneaker.
Can't do that, can you? Sure.
And nobody quite knew what was going on. The player didn't. The announcers weren't sure what the penalty was for that. Was it a 4-pointer? What would you get for that? Wasn't it? It was quite.
So it was a 2-pointer. It's called goaltending, meaning the shot would have gone in if you hadn't had your shoe off and tried to defend it. And it was a technical foul.
Right.
So the player shot a free throw. It ended up becoming a 3-point play for that. But you're right. No one knew what the rule was when it happened.
Yeah, we want to play you Tom Brady now. Tom Brady's upset people in the world of professional wrestling in the States. He was at a do, and Sports Illustrated spoke to him, and this is what he said.
How many WWE wrestlers would it take to sack Tom Brady?
All their stuff is so cute and scripted, and they know what's going on. In a football game, you don't know it, so they wouldn't even get near me. Plus, if I had a good offensive line, they'd punch those guys right in the throat, and they'd be probably crying. And, there's no fake BS we do in American football. So for those guys, it'd be a whole different story for them.
Now, that really smacks of the fact.
That's not going to go
don't you kind of sense the wrestlers are upset? So somebody from WWE has said, just say this, Tom, and then you can appear in the ring. Here's the check. It feels all a bit contrived, Tom, doesn't it?
It does, Paul. Yes, it feels very, very WWE.
Yeah.
So absolutely, I expect to see him in a ring soon.
Yeah, brilliant. Nice one. We'll catch up with you next week, Todd. Thanks a lot.
See you, boys.
There we are. There's Todd Macklin, our man on American sports.
Mad story.
That's great, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, they're so cute and scripted. You can just see him. Tom Brady, some bloke in the ring. They're all upset. Charlotte Flair's very upset, apparently. Charlie, Andy, your old mate Charlotte Flair.
Yes,
I know you're a big fan of the wrestling.
Love her, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not my thing, wrestling.
Okay, fair enough. Clips of the week to come. We'll have some hear from the gaffers ahead of the press conferences, this weekend's big games. And then we'll hand over to Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy with Drive at 4 o'clock.
After 2 decent results in a row, has Igor Tudor earned his stay of execution at Tottenham until the end of the season? Well, Drive presenter and expert striker Darren Bent certainly thinks so.
The performances before that, I mean, the 6 before that, oh my God, 6 straight losses in a row. I thought, what's going to happen here? Like, where's it going to end? And they put in a decent performance against Liverpool, and as you said, they beat Atletico in the second leg. And they have got confidence now because that's 2 unbeaten now in all competitions, 2 unbeaten. The game on Sunday's the one. It's so big, but clearly now that Igor Tudor is going to be here for the foreseeable now. That he's here to the end of the season.
Yeah,
I can't see them making a change now this season because you've seen.
If they were to lose Forest, lose away at Sunderland, he'd still be there.
Potentially, yeah. I think so.
Very interesting. Spurs Nottingham Forest on Sunday is absolutely gigantic. So, would you agree with Darren Bent there? Have we seen enough that's been good from Igor Tudor?
That was a brilliant point away at Liverpool. And the game in midweek, which I watched, I thought there was a lot more spirit, a lot more, really wanting it more for if you're a Tottenham player. So they've got to take that now into this game on Sunday against Forest. Look, Forest will know they're coming off that win as well. They'll be really happy with how they got the result away from home. They'll probably sit back Forest and try and hit them on the break, but they've got good players as well. Gibbs White, Adore, Jesus up front, Anderson in midfield. So they've got a decent squad of players itself. So it's going to be an interesting game. But I think the first goal is, I know it's an old cliche. First goal is going to be really important in that game. If Forest can somehow nick it, then you can see the fans really getting a little bit frustrated. But one thing about the fans the other night, they really, really got behind the team.
A whopping 35 England players have been named in Thomas Tuchel's final squad before the World Cup selection. No Ollie Watkins, no Max Stowman, no Luke Shaw, but Calvert-Lewin is in, and Kobbie Mainoo is as well, and Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire's never let England down. I know there's been a lot of criticism at club level, but he's back in the United side, playing regularly, enjoying his football, and I've always been a supporter of Maguire.
5 goalkeepers, including Brighton's Jason Steele. He hasn't played in the Premier League all season.
You've got Carl Rushworth, England under-21 international, the best goalkeeper in the Championship at Coventry. I know for a fact that Frank Lampard has held conversations with the England goalkeeper coach about Carl Rushworth. Surely that would be better if you're going to take 5 goalkeepers to plan for the future.
Now, they might be in a relegation scrap, but Ryan Yates told TNT Forest are still dreaming of winning the Europa League.
Shout out to the fans, especially the ones that have travelled here, spending a lot of money, a difficult time for many people. From minute one, they really helped us. And, it took us penalties, but we're through, and that's all that matters.
And Ronnie O'Sullivan's made snooker's biggest ever break, 153 in the World Open. The Rocket snookered Ryan Day to get a free ball before reeling off the 15 reds, 13 extra blacks and 2 pinks before polishing off the colours. There's more, as ever, at talksport.com.
Clips of the week on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Our friendly colleagues are right behind you at over 580 stations. Next stop, Toolstation.
talkSPORT Clips of the Week.
Yes, time once again for the Clips of the Week with Tool Station. And Andy, why don't you get us underway?
Yes, and we kick off with Shaban Ahern and Alex Brooker sitting in for us and doing the Paddy's Pick quiz that raises much-needed funds for charity. Well, usually.
I do feel bad. I feel terrible. I feel embarrassed.
It's a disgrace. That's £0 raised for the Duchenne UK this week, but because he was so bad at it, we're going to double his donation.
Oh, great.
Yeah, double
nothing. Well, Shaban should have done what I do, which is cheat.
Yeah,
basically.
let me win.
Paddy can afford it. I'll try and make it a quiz,
Drop
but if it's not going well, I'll drop some heavy hints.
Exactly.
It's for Duchenne UK, for goodness sake.
I agree.
This is Andy Goldstein with Jason Cundy talking movies.
Harry Potter. What was it? Ron Jeremy. What was the?
Ron Jeremy. Ron Jeremy. I cannot believe you thrown Ron Jeremy in there. That's unbelievable. What films do you watch when Ron Jeremy's not in Harry Potter?
He's a ginger fella.
Well, I think he was. He was in Harry Potter and the Washing Machine Repairman. I think that was
very good film.
That will only make sense. You know Ron Jeremy is. Yes. If you don't, I'd look him up carefully. What's next, Dan?
In a similar ballpark, here's Shaban again. This time with a question for Ray Parlour.
If you were to have a celebrity take over at Arsenal, who would it be and why?
Who would it be? JK.
J.K. Rowling?
Jamiroquai.
Oh.
He's the man.
What we got? Listen to this again. We'll play it to you again now. You've got the J.K. Rowling as the Arsenal manager. Also, I don't see Ray as a particularly big Harry Potter fan. I read them all out. If we'll play it to you again and listen to an extraneous laugh in the background. Listen. Here we go.
If you were to have a celebrity take over at Arsenal, who would it be and why?
Who would it be? JK.
J.K. Rowling?
Jamiroquai.
Oh.
He's the man.
Now, that laugh is Ollie, the producer on Breakfast, and that's coming through extra thick glass and a lead-lined
double door.
That's how loud his laugh is. Anyway, is it me?
Yeah.
It isn't it? That's right. No,
Yeah,
it's you.
number 4.
Oh, that's right. Here's Steve Harmison, Chelsea versus Newcastle, and something tells us he's off for a curry on the King's Road straight after the match.
Tuchel might leave at half-time and Adrian Durham might be vindified by what he said about Nick Woltemade.
There we are.
Vindified.
La la. Me mum and me. Yeah, exactly. Get the idea.
Yes, this is commentator Jim Proudfoot at Liverpool versus Galatasaray.
Yeah.
And Liverpool lead Galatasaray 2-0 on the night and 2-1 on aggregate. But it's Salah's name that emanates around Anfield. Possibly Enfield as well.
Oh yeah, he's big in Enfield.
I
mean, it's
the
a big
cultural centre.
Big Egyptian population. I remember used to pop on when I lived round that way. Pop over to the souk opposite Pearson's on a Saturday morning. Always over there. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Steve Bruce now on the fine job Michael Carrick's doing at United.
People are getting fit for him just at the right critical time, and he's gone back to putting people in square pegs and square pegs or whatever the saying is.
Not that.
You went a bit Count Arthur then, Steve, didn't you?
It was really, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is betting expert Dan Towles talking football.
If the Brentford fans are interested, 7-1 for the top 5, 9-4 for the top 6. Again, I think it'd mean Chelsea, Liverpool, Villa taking the foot off the boil.
I'd rather not have the foot on the boil. It sounds quite painful, really, doesn't it?
Very painful, yeah.
This is Dean Ashton on commentary duty. Channeling is in a Brucey.
Reinders with the in-swinging corner, up went Rodri, punched away, drops to Cherky. Good save by Hermanson in his near post. He saw that through a crowd of bodies and he held on to the ball as well.
Yeah, didn't he do well?
Nice to see West Ham going well. To see West Ham going well, nice. And alongside Joe Shannon there, of course.
Yes,
next,
it's
then?
me. Let's get the TalkSPORT Corner of the Week now to breakfast.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me that you wouldn't miss the atmosphere of North London derby. Come on.
I've lost you 1 second.
TalkSPORT Caller of the Week.
Here we are, TalkSPORT Corner of the Week. Now, we've got some great...
I thought they from...
Sorry?
I thought he was coming from Crufts.
It did sound a bit... Yeah. We've got some great news for Alan Brazil, haven't we, Andy?
Yes, we have.
We have negotiated, it's taken us a bit of time, but we've negotiated for him to be an ambassador for Bolton's 30-35 Ryder Cup bid got the contract here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to leave it in Alan's cubbyhole here for him to sign.
That's good, yeah.
And then we'll all be up and running, which is fantastic news. And he said he was going to talk about the bid on breakfast, so let's have a listen in.
Yeah. With the greatest respect to Bolton, are you having a laugh? A Ryder Cup in Bolton.
No,
Give
hang
us
on.
a break.
What's the point?
Fantastic. Anyway, overnight sidekick Kane Reeves now here along Olivia Bazaglo with a fact that we're not quite sure stacks up.
Yeah, not sure about this.
So I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that cats, if you die and you've only got a cat in the house, a cat will eat your body.
Oh my God.
Within about 9 hours.
A cat will eat a human body in 9 hours.
I don't remember that in David Baddiel's cat programme.
Yeah, it's the one thing he omitted.
Yeah.
They always say keep one eye on the cat. You'd be frightened to fall asleep because it would start nibbling at your toes, wouldn't it?
Nobody just eats a tin of cat food. It's quite a whole person.
Somebody in a cab now is going to be sitting there listening to this. The next customer comes in. They're going to say, finish for the day, mate. He says, you never believe what I just heard on talkSPORT. Apparently, if you die, your cat's going to eat you within... Can I drop you here, mate? Because that one-way system will cost you an extra £3.
Brilliant, isn't it?
And finally, Andy.
And finally, it's this week's Carry On talkSPORT, featuring coach and pundit Sean Derry and our own Stuart Pearce, eulogising about Liverpool.
The first half was really poor. Both teams, they were a little bit edgy, nervous, not really wanting to come out and expose themselves.
They've been absolutely magnificent tonight, by far their best performance of the season, and they're just almost pleasuring each other with the ball.
I don't know how that works.
Wow, let's not give that too much thought.
No.
We should thank Nick Ellaby, Stephen from Lisbon, Angelina, Johnny Lester, Stephen Hull, Dan, Phil Barwise, Kev Burgess, and wait for this one, Shay Kent Stevens. Somebody claiming to be called Shay Kent Stevens. It's not even a good one.
It's rubbish, that one, my birthday spread.
Shay Kent Stevens. Thank you, everybody, suggested clips that were played this week. If you hear a clip on talkSPORT or any of our sister stations over the next 7 days, please do send it in to us, talksport.com/H&J. You can text it to 81089, tweet it to TSH&J. As always, we need a day and a time, so we've got a fighting chance of tracking it down. And we'll have a listen back, and if it's played, like those ones were, you will get credit. You can listen back to the clips of the week and a whole raft of previous clips of the week wherever you get your podcast. Just look out for talkSPORT Clips of the Week podcast. And the H&J Daily with some of the best bits of this afternoon's show will also be there as well. We put out a daily podcast of our favourite bits of the day. So look out for that in around 15, 20 minutes' time. But for now, they were the clips of the week with our good friends at Tool Station. Just a reminder, you can get your toolbox essentials this spring with big savings on screws and fixings. Next stop, Tool Station. And next up, we'll conclude today hearing from some of the managers ahead of the big games in the Premier League and indeed the Carabao Cup this weekend.
Clips of the week on talkSPORT with Tool Station. Our friendly colleagues are right behind you at over 580 stations. Next stop, Tool Station.
Kids, for them last night, horror show. The Wi-Fi didn't work.
Oh my goodness.
I got in.
Panic stations.
As I walked through the door, my eldest, not hello daddy, my eldest, Wi-Fi's down. And I went, can I get through the door first? Okay, yeah. Little one comes down, not little anymore, but come on. No Wi-Fi. And I went, can I walk in? Right. Let's get in. Something to eat. If you fix the Wi-Fi, by the way, I get a text.
Yeah.
A text from my 14-year-old who's upstairs, can't bother to come down. A text, I'm downstairs. Is the Wi-Fi working? So I text back, can you come down if you want to talk to me? Yeah. Comes down. Oh, is it? Because I can't get... No, it's not. It's not us. It's Virgin. It will be fixed. Just wait.
Yeah.
This morning, first thing, no Wi-Fi, still not ready.
So what did you watch last night on TV?
That's a very good question. We had stuff on the planner already saved.
Yeah.
You've got Sky Glass, right?
So if Wi-Fi goes down...
You're in a world of trouble. I've got stuff saved on my planner. I'll tell you what, I was watching the football, but Mrs. G was watching the end of... I gave up on that. What's that programme called with the woman from Yellowstone?
Oh, the Saltmarsh.
Yeah, I gave up. Episode 3, nothing was happening slowly. I thought, no, not for me.
It's slow, man.
Yeah.
And even I watched all the episodes, and even at the end, I'm a bit like, what have I just watched?
Yeah, I gave up. She was watching it.
Football was good though, but no, do you know what? I bet that was quite nice though. No Wi-Fi.
Well, it was up until every 4 minutes. I'd like, still not working.
Just relax. Listen, you should have hit him with the. You know, you should have hit him with the. When we was younger, there's no such thing as Wi-Fi.
I know. I'm gonna have to use my data up. Oh my god.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
In this northeastern tale of two cities.
Performance means nothing, result means everything.
It's finished at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland 1, Newcastle 0.
It's always a new story because teams have changed.
Like the hairs on your back of your neck are like standing upright. It's like a really emotive game.
But they are big news. They are great fixtures.
And Paolo Di Canio and his entourage swoop onto David Moore. Mitrovic is there. Oh yes, it's another late sucker punch for Sunderland.
So we'll be underdogs, we'll be challengers.
Sunderland's season is just slowly but surely starting to unravel. It's fading away.
As Newcastle simply capitulated. How will they recover ahead of the Tyne-Wear derby?
He should offer his resignation. Doesn't mean it has to be accepted.
Barcelona 7, Newcastle 2.
A huge game for us and for the whole city.
All the ingredients are there.
When was the last manager who offered his resignation? This never happened, does it? I'm going to turn my back on a 4-year contract.
As Adrian said, they don't have to accept it. But as a matter of course, if somebody puts 7 past your team, you put the letter in.
Well,
it's a theory.
Is it over 2 legs? If so, I agree.
Well, let's hear from Eddie Howe to kick things off. We're going to bring you the Tyne-Wear derby, midday kickoff on Sunday, exclusively live on talkSPORT. After that, 7-2 shoeing at the new camp. Eddie Howe has spoken ahead of that game, breaking his silence on the crisis engulfing his shattered squad.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we've got a bit of work to do, I think, psychologically with the players off the back of what was a really strange game to digest and review. I think the players will hopefully have learnt from a lot of similar games this season, you know, where, in the respect that we've had an incredible group of games where we've had to leave one game very quickly and focus on the next. That's a sort of a skill, I think, to be able to do that, to park it and move on to the next one. We're going to have to do that really quickly for this one and effectively, because the game will be on us before we know it. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff, very quick turnaround. So a bit of work to do today and tomorrow with the players, but I think by kickoff we'll be fine.
Yeah, with the greatest respect to Sunderland, it's not exactly Barcelona's attack, is it?
No. I mean, at times early on in the season, you could have.
But even then, they've had a great season, Sunderland, but they're not Barcelona.
No, they're not. They're not
in
Barcelona.
The new camp,
I mean, I don't know if you have a pound each way on 7-2 in this one, I'd be surprised.
No.
You'll get an angry Newcastle. That's the way they should react, you would think. Antoine Semenyo, we're going to hear from there. He plays against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final at the weekend. That one also live on talkSPORT on Sunday afternoon. It's his first final, of course, for Manchester City. And he spoke about getting to work with Pep and how he felt when he saw him for the first time.
I've never ever competed in a final before, but I feel like I'm going into it very calm, very relaxed, but I know what's at stake. I want to win, the team want to win, and I want to finish the game with a trophy. So
it's going to be your first visit to Wembley?
First visit, yeah, actually playing. I've been there to watch a few friends. I played in finals, but yeah, first time playing there. Great stadium. Looking forward to it. The atmosphere is going to be amazing. It's obviously our rivals all throughout the season, so it's going to be good.
And you're in a squad now there where a lot of the players have won trophies. There's a lot of silverware in that dressing room. It will be very special for you to win your first trophy.
No, 100%. I feel like having experienced heads is definitely important. I feel like they keep you level-headed, keep you calm, and just whatever we do tactically, just make sure everyone's prepared for the game, and when the final whistle blows, hopefully we're celebrating.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to call because both teams aren't playing particularly brilliantly. Arsenal haven't been great in the past few weeks, but they're resolute and they find a way.
Yeah.
City have been so vulnerable. But in the build-up to the final on Sunday, Manchester City's Pep Guardiola addressed the topic of his relationship with Arsenal's Mikel Arteta, his former assistant.
I don't have time to go to London. And I think he has no time with the 4 competitions to come to Manchester. The relation is completely different than after 5-6 years in London. Like all the managers have a lot of business to do. But if you want to try to your question before that game, create some conflict with Mikel and myself or Arsenal, I am all enough to do that.
And then, he's probably...
I suppose the headline thing, they can't find time for each other. They rarely speak. I mean, it's
probably
fact of life.
There's probably a lot of respect as well.
Yeah, of course there is. Blimey, absolutely. And maybe we should. Where should we finish up?
It's Arteta himself.
Yeah.
Although Pep may have had some choice words regarding their relationship. Here he spoke to talkSPORT and offered his perspective on their dynamic.
In this profession, you are constantly learning, constantly evolving. I had the incredible privilege to work with Pep for 4 years and all this stuff, and an amazing club. And that remains part of me because it was part of the journey and what I am today as a manager. But that means that you have to continue to evolve and improve constantly.
There we are. So that game, as we said, live for you on the...
It'd be lovely to think it'd be a really great attacking game, but
it probably won't be.
Horrible feeling it won't be.
It might be a tight old match. I mean, you've gone 1-0, I've gone 1-1. I could go all the way. Who knows?
Needs an early goal.
Yeah, that would help. Let's hear from Arne Slot, actually. We can squeeze this in. Arne Slot, the Liverpool manager, of course, not the plumber.
Probably their best performance of the season, I believe.
Yeah, from what everybody said, they did play a goal from Salah. That was sensational. They were singing his name in Enfield, put it that way. So Arne Slot spoken out about the branding of his team's style of football as boring.
And I've said it 150 times, and I will keep on saying it for the rest of my life. It will never be about us if a game is not entertaining. It will never be about us. All the times we faced a team that wanted to fight with us, we gave them the fight and we gave the fans a great game. But if we have to fight against a team that doesn't want to fight and only want to hold their hands in front of their face, it's really difficult to give punches. You cannot compare that at all with most of the teams that we faced this season.
Yeah, we are on a slot. In a better place really after that performance midweek. So we've got a ridiculous amount of games for you. We're going to kick off tonight on talkSPORT with Bournemouth versus Manchester United. We'll also bring you Preston Stoke over on talkSPORT 2. Then tomorrow lunchtime, Brighton Liverpool. That's exclusively live, as is Ipswich Millwall at the same time over on talkSPORT 2. Millwall pushing for the Premier League. Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, Alan Pardew, Sean Derry. They're around the grounds, all the goals as they go in. We'll have Sheffield United Wrexham for you at 3 on talkSPORT 2. Swansea Cov at 5:15 on talkSPORT 2. And then at 8 o'clock, it's like David Mitchell, this, isn't it? It's like that.
Yeah, it is.
Football. Anyway, it's Leeds versus Brentford in the Premier League, 8 o'clock. Then on Sunday, more football. Well, you can't get enough of it. As we said, the Time We're derby at midday, and then Arsenal, Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final. Mixed with all the other programming, talking about the games. You will not miss a thing over the weekend. So that is us. You're away this weekend, aren't you?
Well, I'm at home.
No, but you're not. Your team is away.
Yes.
Everton, Goodison. You always say, well, not good. You used to have trouble at Goodison, so let's see how you get on at the new place.
I'm expecting absolutely nothing. So
okay, well,
anything more than that will be quite
have a good weekend. Myself and Max Scott, our Forest supporting sports news reader, both very nervous. We'll both be at the game. I am strangely looking forward to it, though. The jeopardy
I fancy Tottenham in this game quite strongly.
Forest are good. They got. I mean, I think it's going to be a tough old game.
2-0 to Tottenham.
I'm hoping for the best. I'll be getting behind the lads. I'm sure Max will as well, and we'll pick over the bones of that on Monday. But thanks for your company today and throughout the week. We'll be back on Monday to pour over all those games. But coming up next to build up a busy weekend's football and live football tonight, involving his team, of course, Andy Goldstein, Manchester United at Bournemouth. It is Andy and Jason Cundy will drive. Have a good weekend.
And 35 players have been named. Jason Steele has got his first call-up as part of a 5 goalkeeping battalion that also includes James Trafford, Aaron Ramsdale, Jordan Pickford and Dean Henderson. The defenders that have been included, with a bit of surprise maybe for Kayo Tomori. John Stones has been included. Jarrell Quansah is back in the squad. Harry Maguire has got a recall as well. The other defenders, Byrne, Gahey, Hall, Konsa, Livramento, O'Reilly and Jed Spence of Tottenham Hotspur. The midfielders that have been called into the squad include James Garner, who gets a call-up for the first time to the England senior squad, Anderson, Bellingham, Henderson, Mainu, who's back in after some good performances under Michael Carrick. We'll see him tonight live on talkSPORT when we bring you Bournemouth against Manchester United. Declan Rice, Morgan Rogers and Adam Wharton. And then the